Hello. Welcome to the Fanfic Majesty. If you want more content, you can follow me on Patreon. I will be uploading more content on there that will be exclusive. The link is in the description. Please support me. 3SWTF Chapter 51 Previous Chapter Next Chapter Advertisement. Little Sakura hurts. Naruto covers his head. Hanxing. How can you learn to lie like Kakashi-sensei? Huh? What? Hanxing pretended to be puzzled. While a few people were talking and laughing, Kakashi walked over with a little book in his hand with a leisurely look on his face. Yo. Coming? Kakashi-sensei. You're late again, Naruto complained loudly. Oh. I'm sorry. I was helping my grandma to cross the road, I forgot the time. Hanxing. Cover your head, Naruto. Little Sakura. Sasuke. Kakashi's scalp was numb when the three of Sasuke stared at him. Why are you looking at me like that? I wonder if Hanxing was born to Mr. Kakashi. Both of them are late every time, and the reason is exactly the same. Naruto touched his chin and glanced back and forth between Kakashi and Hanxing's faces. Advertisement. Listening to what you said, I think it's possible that the two really look alike. Little Sakura also joined at this time. Although Sasuke didn't say anything, his eyes were constantly scanning Kakashi and Hanxing's faces back and forth. Enough. You guys. Let's go take the mission. Having said that, Kakashi walked in first. He secretly said, it seems that the reason will be changed next time. Find the cat. Repair the river, pick up the trash, and cut the rice. These are all terrible tasks. Naruto had a black line on his forehead, and his face was unhappy. Okay. Don't complain. You have just graduated from the ninja school, and you can only take such simple D-level tasks. I took 2 tasks from there, and it's probably enough for us to do this afternoon, he said and handed the task paper to Naruto and others to watch. Looking for the cat. Picking up the trash. Naruto pouted after reading it, and looked unhappy. Ignoring Naruto's expression, Kakashi announced, then let's start looking for cats. Time is like running water, and in the blink of an eye, a month has passed quietly. During this month, Hanxing and others have been taking D-level missions. This made Naruto and the others complain again and again, and even Sasuke, who has always been calm, had a hint of dissatisfaction on his face. On this day, Kakashi then took Naruto and others to the mission hall to pick up the mission, but Naruto jumped out of here, leaving a sentence in the air. Kakashi-sensei. Wait. I'll find Grandpa Hokage for a difficult task. This idiot. Little Sakura shouted, but in her mind, well done Naruto. Advertisement. Kakashi rolled the eyes of the dead fish, his face expressionless. This is difficult. Let's go to Hokage and see. No Naruto, doing something out of the ordinary. After Kakashi finished speaking, he took Hanxing and others to the Hokage office. Hanxing looked at Kakashi's back thoughtfully. And with Kakashi's speed, he could definitely stop Naruto. It seems that Kakashi also doesn't want to do these D-level tasks. Hokage office. Naruto stood opposite Yuan-Fei Hiruzen and shouted, Grandpa Hokage. We have been doing D-level missions for a month, so boring, give us another difficult mission. Naruto. Kakashi should have told you about it. The reason for you to do D-level tasks is to cultivate your team's tacit understanding. Yuan-Fei Hiruzen sighed and had a headache. Don't, Grandpa Hokage. If you don't give us a high-level mission today, I'll keep pestering you. Naruto sat on the ground regardless, with a meaning of fighting to the end. Click. At this moment, Kakashi walked in with a helpless expression on his face with Hanxing. I'm sorry. Hokage-sama, I'm bothering you. It's okay. Yuan-Fei Hiruzen waved his hand and glanced at Sasuke and the others behind Kakashi. His eyes paused after seeing Hanxing, and after a while, it returned to normal. Oh, I really can't do anything about you. Yuan-Fei Hiruzen sighed, seeming to compromise. I do have a C-level escort here. Do you want to take it? Yes. Naruto nodded desperately, for fear that Yuan-Fei Hiruzen would regret it. Come in. At this moment, Yuan-Fei Hiruzen shouted at the door. Advertisement. Grandpa Hokage. What are you talking about? We're all here. Where's anyone? Naruto looked around, asking idiot. Hanxing's eyes flashed and he secretly said, Are you here? Mission of the Land of Waves? Swish. The door was pushed open, and Dazna walked in, holding a bottle of alcohol. Dissatisfied, he shouted, "What, it's all a bunch of little devils." The next scene in the original book ends in the Naruto noise. Mr. Dazna, did you really post a sea-level mission? I want to confirm it, Yuanfei Hiruzen asked suddenly and earnestly. That's right. It's indeed a sea-level mission. Dazna's eyes flickered, and he took a sip of wine to cover up the panic in his heart. Okay. I see. This task is left to Kakashi. How could Yuanfei, Hiruzen and Kakashi not be able to see such poor acting skills? Even Hanxing can see it at a glance, but it's just not broken. After confirming the time to leave tomorrow, Yuanfei Hiruzen sent Naruto and others and Dazna to leave, leaving Kakashi alone. Seeing that there was no one in the room, Yuanfei Hiruzen took out a scroll from the drawer. This is the details of the country of waves. Originally, I was worried about who to give this task to. Just this guy Naruto bumped in. Chapter 52 Advertisement Cardo? I seem to have heard of this man, notorious, controlled a lot of sea transportation, and a famous monopoly. Kakashi looked at the name on the scroll and frowned, thinking about the information about Gato in his mind. That's right, it's him, Yuanfei Hiruzen nodded. Today, all the maritime transportation in the country of waves is controlled by him. Not only that, he also has a group of thugs in his hands, which can be described as the emperor of the country of waves. It is also that the maritime transportation is controlled by Gato, and the country of waves has always been in a state of semi-closed country. Because of the long-term squeezing of Gato, the economy there is also somewhat poor. So what does Lord Hokage mean? Kakashi asked with a frown. Yuanfei Hiruzen took a puff of smoke and continued. This time Dazna will go back to build the bridge. Once the bridge is built, the state of the country of waves will be broken. The sea transportation controlled by Gato is also useless. With Gato's ruthless character, he will never let Dazna go back alive. You are very likely to encounter ninjas with your escort this time. This task is by no means as simple as a C-level task, it may even be a B-level or A-level. This is why I just had a headache. If it wasn't for a powerful Hanxing in your team, I wouldn't let you take this mission. Advertisement. So, your task is, Yuanfei Hiruzen, after a pause, he said solemnly. Protect Dazna and let him build the bridge safely, and by the way, establish friendly relations with the Land of Waves. Understood. Kakashi nodded. So, go, Yuanfei Hiruzen waved his hand. The next morning, Hanxing woke up early. After cleaning up, walked towards the Konoha gate. As soon as I left the house, I saw Ino and Hinata standing quietly outside the door. Didn't I tell you? I'll go out to perform a mission and come back soon, or you'll give it away. Hanxing rubbed a woman's hair with one hand and said softly. Hinata and I want to take you to the Konoha gate. After a moment of silence, Ino felt depressed. Okay. Let's go now. Don't be sad. It was the first time that Hanxing saw the two women in such a low mood, so he could only hold one in each hand and slowly walked towards the Konoha gate. Along the way, Hanxing tried every means, but couldn't make the two girls happy, which also made him know how much he held in the hearts of the two girls, and he felt a little overjoyed for some reason. When I arrived at the gate of Konoha, I found that Naruto, Xena and others had already arrived. Even Kakashi, who always liked to be late, was surprisingly not late today. Sorry, it's late. Hanxing smiled awkwardly. He turned around, said goodbye to the two women behind him, and exhorted, Okay, I'm leaving. Remember to take good care of yourself during my absence. Advertisement. X2 saying goodbye to the two girls. Hanxing walked over to Kakashi. Mr. Kakashi, we can go now. Kakashi closed the little man book and opened a dead fisheye. Everyone is here. Let's go, Mr. Dazna. Okay. Dazna nodded. Waving to the two girls Hinata, Hanxing officially left Konoha village for the first time. Watching Hanxing and the others go away, it wasn't until it was a little later that Hinata and Ino slowly retracted their gazes and walked towards Konoha. The Land of Waves is not far from Konoha village. If the ninjas are on their way, they will arrive in 2 or 3 days, but if you add ordinary people like Dazna, the time will be doubled. One day later, in a lush, leafy forest, Naruto happily ran back and forth like a bird. Sasuke and little Sakura were beside Dazna. They were close protection, and Kakashi was behind him and looked at the villain book very leisurely. People who don't know definitely think they're on an outing. Hanxing frowned and pondered. He remembered that the ghost brother, the dragon character in the original book, appeared in a forest. Suddenly, Hanxing's electromagnetic induction, two human magnetic fields appeared not far away. Looking up, not far from the woods, a large pool of water stains stayed quietly on the ground. Idiot! Hanxing scolded secretly. Turning into water stains or something should be in line with the actual situation. It's almost noon, the hottest conditions of the day, and since it hasn't rained the other day, there will be water spots on the road. Even if there was, it was in the morning, and it was already dry by now. Advertisement. Turning his head and looking at Kakashi, Kakashi directly shook his head. When everyone was approaching the beach, Hanxing passed Naruto and walked to the front. At the moment of approaching the water beach, a trace of chakra quietly spreads on the feet. Hanxing stepped on the beach lightly. The chakra on his feet burst out. The powerful airflow directly bombarded the ground. Boom! The deafening roar sounded directly. The surrounding ground quickly began to crack, and the dense cracks began to spread. The dust was flying, the gravel was raised, and in the blink of an eye, a small pothole appeared in front of everyone. What's the matter? What's wrong with you, Hanxing? Naruto yelled and ran to Hanxing. Sasuke and little Sakura quickly took out the kunai and guarded Dazna with vigilant expressions. Kakashi covered his forehead, yet another person who played cards out of line with common sense stabbed his head. Also, Naruto. What are you doing running forward, you fool? Shouldn't you be wary of your surroundings? Kakashi's performance towards Naruto is really speechless. The teacher is so good. How did you give birth to such a big brainless idiot? Is it all inherited from the teacher? Chapter 53. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. By the way, he must have inherited the genes of his wife. He remembered that his wife was this violent, mindless, often angry, known as the blood-red pepper. Just when Kakashi was thinking about it, Hanxing walked out of the pothole with a calm expression, leaving behind two dazed corpses. It's okay. Dispose of the garbage. Hanxing. Hanxing. You killed. Naruto walked to the pothole, saw two dead bodies, and ran over with a look of panic. Idiot Naruto. Look at the forehead protector on their forehead. It's not our Konoha's. It's the forehead protector of Rain Shinobi Village. It's a hostile force. Kakashi said speechlessly. Hanxing, on the other hand, did not change his face, walked in front of Dazna and said indifferently, Mr. Dishonor. Why don't you explain why you meet Somura ninjas on the road? This is not part of the sea-level mission. Fan Tawane. Hanxing took Kakashi's question in the original book one step ahead. He doesn't want to waste time here, he just wants to finish the task quickly and go back to Hinata and Ino. As the saying goes, if you don't see each other for 3 days, you don't think about the two girls if you don't leave Konoha, but after leaving, Hanxing's mind is full of the appearance of the two girls. With the beginning of Hanxing, and then proceeding according to the original book, Dazna sold out the truth, had no money, was bullied by the underworld card, and so on. Naruto, who has never experienced social beatings, has an instant sense of justice, and shouts to go to the country of waves to defeat Cardo, so that Dazna can repair the bridge with peace of mind. Kakashi took the opportunity to instill in Naruto and the others the great truth of a lot of ninjas doing their tasks, and then, pretending to think, agreed to Naruto's request and continued to protect Dazna. The days following the Ghost Brothers incident have been uneventful. The land of waves, Kakashi et al. Disembark from a small boat. Advertisement. Under the guidance of Dishonor, we walked into a forest. Dishonor was a little excited and stretched out his hand. Go straight along the road in the woods, and at the very front is my house. Wow! It's finally here, Naruto exclaimed. Just wanted to run forward, but was stopped by Hanxing. Hanxing. What are you doing? Naruto exclaimed in dissatisfaction. Hanxing looked towards the woods, his brows were indifferent. Come out. In the electromagnetic induction envelope, there is a human body magnetic field. and there is another human body magnetic field not far away. It should be the big boss of the country of waves, one of the 7 original ninja swordsmen. Taudi will not be cut again and the ice shield blood will be bounded by the water Wuyuabai. To be honest, with his current strength, it is impossible to cause any pressure on him if he does not cut and buy. When Hanxing's words fell, the 3 of Sasuke instantly appeared beside Dazna, took out kunai, and looked alert. Hanxing's words convinced them. Along the way, they had seen many ways of Hanxing. The point is, Kakashi teacher told them that Hanxing might still be a perceptive ninja. 1 minute, 2 minutes, there was silence all around. Hanxing, did you make a mistake? Naruto asked, letting go of his guard. After all, maintaining this state is very troublesome. In the distance, on a slightly shady treetop, Zabuza, with a bandage wrapped around his face, quietly squatted there. Advertisement. A hint of surprise flashed in his eyes. Oh. It's Konoha's copy ninja Hitaki Kakashi, and there's a perception ninja. Konoha really likes that bad old man. Done. The beheading sword in his hand was thrown at Kakashi and others, and the whole person disappeared suddenly and disappeared in place. Swish. Swish. The beheading sword spun all the way with the sound of breaking the air, passed over the heads of Naruto and others, and chopped down on a big tree. No longer stand on the beheading sword. Who am I? It turns out to be Konoha's copy ninja Hitaki Kakashi. The voice was extremely indifferent, and a trace of murderous intent was quietly revealed. That knife. Kakashi's eyes narrowed, and he said solemnly, Naruto, you take over the formation to protect Dazna. It's not easy to come here. When the words fell, Kakashi lifted the left forehead protector high, revealing the scarlet Sharingan inside. Ka. Mr. Cassie. Who is he? Naruto asked, gritted his teeth, trembling. He felt that the bandaged man opposite, as if facing an ancient beast, made him unable to raise his fighting spirit, and his whole body trembled. He is Mist Shinobi's rebellion. One of the 7 original ghost swordsmen. The ghost Peachland will never be cut again. He once assassinated 4th Mizukage and defected from the village, Kakashi said solemnly. Gum. After listening to Naruto, he was shocked. He didn't study well. He still knew the 5 shadows, the heads of the 5 kingdoms. Advertisement. That's the same level as their Konoha 3rd Hokage. That guy, how terrifying his strength must be if he can still survive after assassinating the shadow of a village. When his eyes looked at the time when he would not cut again, there was a hint of fear. Hanxing. You also stay to protect Mr. Dazna. Kakashi thought for a moment and said solemnly. No need. Mr. Kakashi. Let me clean him up. Clean up early, go back to Konoha early. While speaking, Hanxing's figure turned into an electric light, and chakra gathered in his hands. One punch directly slams into it and never cuts again. Boy. Lousy is no match for a student who just graduated from the ninja school. No longer slashed his eyes and roared loudly. The figure suddenly disappeared from the beheading sword, and when it reappeared, it was already behind Hanxing. Holding a double-edged kunai, with a bloodthirsty smile in his eyes, 1. When the words fell, the double-edged kunai quickly wiped it towards Hanxing's neck. Puff. A bloodline splattered from Hanxing's neck. Chapter 54. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. He turned his head again, looked at Kakashi, and sneered, This is your student? It's really bad, it's nothing compared to our class. Hanxing. X3. Naruto shouted in grief. I don't know how bad this class of students is. But, that kid is not bad. Kakashi's face was flat, not in the slightest saddened by Hanxing's death. After all, he knew Hanxing's strength, and it was impossible for him to be killed so easily. Crackle. Crackle. The red snake is flying, the thunder is raging, and Hanxing's right fist is shining like a red pearl. Feeling the sound coming from behind him, he didn't turn his head, looking at the young man who was ready to go, with a hint of surprise in his eyes. He quickly glanced at the place where he just killed the young man in front of him. There, a piece of broken wood appeared on the ground. Body replacement technique. Boom. Hanxing took a step forward, and the thunder fist exuding violent energy directly bombarded Zabuza. Wow. The uncut figure immediately turned into a puddle of water and scattered on the ground. Damn its little devil. Zabuza took back the beheading sword and said angrily. Thanks for the compliment. Suddenly, Hanxing's figure suddenly appeared and no longer cut straight above. Advertisement: the left leg is raised high, and the rich thunder attribute chakra gathers on it. The black whip legs with a strong air-breaking sound and violent energy are like a shooting star, crashing down towards the no-slash. This kid. What a speed, damn it, forgot he's the sentient ninja. No longer Zan's pupils contracted violently. At this time, it was too late for him to perform various ninjutsu, and in an instant, Zan raised the beheading sword high above his head in an attempt to defend against Hanxing's kick. Boom! The two meet. Hanxing's whip legs suddenly burst out with terrifying energy. A crack suddenly appeared on the beheading sword, and as this energy became bigger and bigger, there are more and more cracks on the decapitation knife. Ultimately overwhelmed. Click. Click. It was directly broken into several pieces and scattered on the ground. Seeing Duan Lian's beheading sword, he was horrified in his heart, but his movements were not slow. As the original Mist Shinobi ninja sword of 7 people, not only the strength is outstanding, but also the experience against the enemy is also very outstanding. Therefore, at the moment when the beheading sword shatters, the arms are instantly folded and placed near the forehead. Seeing this, Hanxing sneered, the black whip legs turned into afterimages, and Yu Wei was bombarded again and again on his arms. Boom! Zabuza felt a violent force coming out from it. His arms spasmed, the pain was endless, and he finally lost consciousness. Advertisement: with a huge force, his arms slapped his head involuntarily. The powerful airflow and the terrifying impact directly caused a slight crack to appear on the ground where no longer was standing. Click. Click. The crack is getting bigger and bigger, like a python. Crackle. Crackle. Hearing this sound, his face changed suddenly. At this time, both his arms were struggling to resist Hanxing's whip leg, and he couldn't get out of his body to seal, otherwise, he would have left with the water substitute. On the black whip legs, a series of red electric snakes quietly appeared. They were like a giant net of thunder and lightning, and they would not slash the whole person again. Crackle. Crackle. After being contacted by the red lightning, the powerful current made him twitch, his whole body was weak, and a charred smell came from him. Seeing this opportunity, Hanxing pressed his right leg on Buzan's body with all his strength. Boom! The python-like crack expanded again. Large pieces of soil rose up at any time, and a small pothole appeared instantly. Wow! Zabuza, who fell in the pothole, did not lose the strength of his body, and the strong strength made Zabuza's body retreat like a bullet. Just like plowing the ground, the flat ground was immediately dragged out by a long, mark. Don't worry about the red thunderbolt, there will be an explanation later when you fight with Hiashi. Gum. Advertisement: the 3 of Naruto watched the scene not far away with difficulty, and the shock in their eyes could not be concealed. Han. How can Hanxing be so powerful? Is he really Hanxing? Naruto murmured softly. Sasuke was shocked with a look of ugly on his face. He has always regarded Hanxing as his goal, and he will defeat Hanxing in the future. Now that he sees this scene, he realizes how far the gap between himself and Hanxing is. Hanxing's strength is estimated to be comparable to that man. Little Sakura. Wow! Hanxing is so handsome. That kick is so cool. Kakashi's expression remained the same, and his heart was no less shocked than the 3 of Naruto. I thought that Hanxing's strength had initially reached the level of Jonin, but now it seems that I was wrong. This level is comparable to what I have, it is even more powerful than myself. Tsunade-sama has received some kind of monster. Hanxing didn't know what Kakashi and the others were thinking, but at this moment, he had already walked to Zabuza. At this time, if you don't cut your eyes, your big eyes are full of fear and unwillingness. The white bandage is covered with blood, the pungent blood is disgusting, and it is also mixed with this fragrance. That's meat smell. That's right, Zabuza has been roasted by Hanxing's red thunderbolt, and the dead can't die any longer. Carrying the uncut corpse, Hanxing flashed and appeared in front of Kakashi and others. He threw it away casually, with an indifferent expression. Hey, Kakashi-sensei. This is the corpse that will never be cut again. The mission is complete. Let's continue on our way. Chapter 55 Previous chapter Next chapter advertisement. Well, your strength is really shocking. Seeing that the matter was resolved, Kakashi slowly covered the forehead protector again. Now that we've solved it, let's go on our way. But, it's Kirigakure's rebellion. We'd better seal his body and the beheading sword and hand it over to Lord Hokage. After Kakashi finished speaking, he took out a seal scroll to seal the corpse. At this moment, a figure silently appeared in front of Kakashi's crowd. Hanxing, who had known it for a long time, didn't change his expression, and secretly said, "Are you here? The water is white without the moon." A poor toolman. He wore a mask and the Rain Shinobi Village forehead protector, and said indifferently, "Thank you for helping me catch the Rain Shinobi Village renegade ghost and not kill him. We have been hunting him for a long time." Having said that, he walked in front of Zabuza. He touched the aorta at the source of Buzhang's neck, and his indifferent expression instantly disappeared. Dead. Dead. Mr. Zabuza actually died. The words were sad with crying voices. You actually killed Mr. Zaifujian. Shui Wuyuabai was angry and remorseful. If I had helped myself when I slayed the Konoha shinobi and fought against the Konoha shinobi, I might not have died if I hadn't killed him again. So what? Want to take revenge for not being killed again? Hanxing asked with a blank face. Advertisement. Shui Wuyuabai took out a few thousand copies from the ninja bag. His body was tense, and his face was expressionless. I am a tool for not beheading the adults, and now I will die if I don't kill the adults. I am a tool person who is useless in the world. So, you want us to kill you? How he Zaibuzan is buried with you? Kakashi looked moved. How deep does this master-servant relationship have to be to have such a strong obsession? Yes. I hope you can fulfill me. I have no meaning to live now. Bai's face was indifferent, without the fear before death. Hey. What's going on? Isn't he Anbu from Mist Shinobi? Why is he fighting us again? Idiot. Naruto. This Mist Shinobi Anbu is fake. He and Zaibujian are in the same group. Didn't you see him shouting that if he is not beheading, he is not beheading an adult? Little Sakura looked at Bai vigilantly and explained. Hanxing didn't want to see this kind of picture, so he walked forward. I'll go ahead and wait for you first. He'll leave it to you, Kakashi-sensei. If you really can't persuade, it's impossible to do anything. Let's bury them together as master and servant. Having said this, Hanxing's eyes flashed a trace of unbearableness. Thank you. A faint voice of thanks came from behind. Hanxing paused. No thanks. Actually, you don't have to live for others, just live for yourself. No, I have lived with Lord Zabuza for nearly 10 years, and he rescued me from the cold village. To me, Mr. Zabuza is everything to me. Now without him, my world will be plunged into darkness. Shui Wuyuabai took off his mask, revealing a face as delicate as a woman, with memories in his eyes. Advertisement. So, take care. After Hanxing finished speaking, he strode forward. He really couldn't stand the atmosphere. Instead, he talked, feeling like he had become a bad person. 1 hour, 2 hours without a trace of Kakashi and others. Gold UC pendant. Dye the sky into a golden yellow. Kakashi appeared before Hanxing with Naruto and others. Dazna leads the way, and the whole team is filled with a sad atmosphere along the way. Even Naruto, who has always been rough, seems sullen and silent at this time. At the end of the woods, an ordinary courtyard facing the sea appeared in front of everyone. Everyone, this is my home, Dazna introduced. Dad, you are back. This is the Konoha shinobi sent to protect you. A virtuous and beautiful woman, hearing the movement, came out of the house with a smile on her face. Jinbo. Everyone from Konoha will live here these days until the bridge is built. I'll leave our food to you for the next few days. Dazna laughed. Okay. Father. Tsunade readily agreed. In the evening, Tsunade made a sumptuous dinner to entertain Hanxing and others. Advertisement. The country of Wave is underdeveloped economy and lack of materials. This kind of sumptuous dinner can only be regarded as normal in Konoha. At night, After allocating a room to sleep, Naruto and the others were still unhappy, as if they had not yet come out of the shadow of the master and servant. But Hanxing understands that Naruto, the protagonist, will soon come out of this incident, and will use this as an inspiration to turn grief and anger into motivation and grow rapidly. Hanxing quietly shadow clone. The main body is walking towards a place. The Land of Waves, a splendid villa with a huge area. A short man wearing sunglasses is furious at this time. This person is the controller of the country of waves, the big boss Gato behind the water transport. What did you do if you didn't kill that pair of master and servant? You haven't come back yet, don't you mean it will be done soon? How arrogant it was when it came, and it was done in a moment. Now, how many moments have passed? Boss. You asked me to find out. Dazna and Konoha's ninjas have now arrived at Dazna's house. A Ronin walked in and said respectfully. What? Damn, it's not beheading again. What a bastard. Come on. Go and find me the master and servant who will not behead it again. Tell them. I'm giving them a day. Gato exclaimed furiously. Yes. Boss. A subordinate behind him took the order and left. Chapter 56 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. Damn it. Don't kill the master and servant again. It's really causing trouble for me. Gato shouted angrily. At this moment, a strong smell of blood came from outside, and Gato frowned. How can there be a smell of blood? You guys go outside to see what's going on. Are the pariahs of the Land of Waves here again to make trouble? Several bodyguards behind Gato heard the words and walked outside one after another. 1 minute, 2 minutes. The strong smell of blood on the outside has not diminished at all, but it has become thicker and thicker. It's disgusting. The excessive silence outside made Gato's heart sink. A trace of panic flashed in his eyes, and a bad premonition flashed in his heart. Come on. Come on. Are everyone dead outside? Gato shouted to the door. Silence answered him. You are right, they are indeed dead. On the soft leather sofa, a teenager appeared not far from the card, holding a bloody kunai and smiling all over his face. This smile, in Gato's eyes, looks like a smile from the devil. Are you the ninja of Konoha? Gato saw the forehead protector on the boy's head, and his voice trembled involuntarily. Advertisement, not bad. Let me introduce. My name is Chiba Hanxing, a genin of Konoha. Hanxing introduced himself. After he came back from Dazna's house, after asking people about Gato's location, he came straight here. The purpose of coming here is, of course, for the money. Gato controls the maritime transportation of the entire country of waves, as well as many black industries, and is regarded as a famous rich man in Hokage. As a rich man, he is also an ordinary person, and he is notorious for doing many evils, and he is a hostile force with Hanxing. How can this not make Hanxing's heart move, although the current money is just a bunch of numbers to Hanxing, who would think that the money is too little? What do ninjas do quests for? Not for money. What kind of world is this world? Strength is supreme. What is the use of ordinary people's money? Therefore, Gato has long been marked with a label in Hanxing's eyes, waiting for the big fat sheep to be harvested. As early as when Hanxing came out of Konoha, he planned how to rob Gato's property. Now that the plan has been implemented, Hanxing has a hint of excitement in his heart. Look at my eyes. Hanxing was expressionless, looking directly at Gato. Gato, who was worried about being killed by Hanxing, immediately looked into Hanxing's eyes. Slowly his eyes became dull and finally hollow. This is a small illusion created by Hanxing himself, or hypnosis, which silently injects a trace of chakra into Gato's mind, affects his nerves, and then achieves control. Hypnosis means. Then, Hanxing started asking where Gato's money was. Advertisement. Gato knows everything, and he tells the truth, honestly like a child. After a while, Hanxing started to scavenge all valuables in this villa according to Gato. After taking all these things away with the ninjutsu scrolls that have been prepared, Hanxing directly gave Gato a joy with Kunwu. Then, a fire-style ninjutsu, after burning down this luxurious villa, returned to Dazna's home contentedly. Lying on the tatami mat allocated by Dazna, Hanxing's excitement still did not dissipate. No way, it's too much money in Gato, and it's too stupid. He put all the money he had earned in his life in the secretly built dark room under the villa, and it was all cheap Hanxing. The money ticket alone, the unregistered passbook, is as high as 1 billion taels, plus those rare treasures, gold, pearls, etc. The money will at least double. Even if his current strength has reached the top group of people in the ninja world, he has never seen so much money in his previous life or now. No wonder he wasn't excited. In the next time, Kakashi asked Hanxing and others to protect Dazna to build the bridge, in case Gato sent someone to attack. Kokardo was killed by Hanxing long ago, and the old nest was taken away. How could he still send someone here? Therefore, in the next time, Hanxing can be said to be extremely free, which is equivalent to a vacation in the country of waves. A month later, the bridge built by Dazna was successfully completed. Advertisement: Kakashi took the opportunity to take out the scroll given by Hokage and establish diplomatic friendship with the country of waves. During the period, Kakashi taught Naruto 3 people according to the original work. Chakra control is stepping on trees. After that, the group returned to Konoha. When I came here, I walked a little slowly because of Dazna, an ordinary person, but when I came back, it was different. Several people are ninjas, and some are homesick. In just 2 days, Hanxing and others appeared at the door of Konoha. The setting sun is like blood, dyeing the sky red, like a cloud of fire. Walking into Konoha, Kakashi greeted the 2 door gods and ran towards the Hokage building. He wants to report the specific situation of this mission to 3rd Hokage. The 3 of Hanxing are disbanded directly on the spot. After the dissolution, Hanxing did not go home, but walked towards the bank. After all, there were so many money tickets and passbooks in Kabuto. Due to the huge amount of Hanxing's money, when Hanxing came out of the bank, the sky was completely dark. After eating at a Happy Noodle restaurant, I went to the bathhouse to take a bath, and then Hanxing walked to his home refreshed. Now Hokage building. Kakashi also brings the quest narrative to the end. Chapter 57 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. In the mist, Yuanfei Hiruzen pondered. That is to say, this task was basically completed by Hanxing from the beginning to the beginning. You used to be soy sauce, right? It's a bit blunt, but it's true. Hokage-sama, Kakashi said solemnly. Are you sure that Mist Shinobi rebels against forbearance, and the demon Momochi with the strength of elite Jonin will be killed after a few rounds of fighting? Is he still using red lightning? That's right. After seeing that the enemy is no longer cut, I have already released Sharingan. Therefore, see clearly. I suspect that even now I am not Hanxing's opponent. Kakashi looked cautious. Understood. I know about this matter. Thank you for your hard work. I'll give you a few days off these days, and I'll change the mission level to A level. Go back and rest. Yuanfei Hiruzen waved his hand. Yes. Hokage-sama. Kakashi finished, walking towards the door. When Kakashi left, the entire Hokage office suddenly became Yuanfei Hiruzen alone. He swallowed the clouds, his eyes were burning, and he didn't know what he was thinking. After a long time, he slowly spit out a sentence, Chiba Hanxing, nice child. At this moment, Hanxing stood at the door of his house, watching the lights in his house brightly. He frowned, and the electromagnetic induction instantly radiated out, wrapping Hanxing's house. After feeling the familiar electromagnetic waves in the room, Hanxing had a smile on his face. Why are they here? After that, I patted my head, and I have been staying in the country of waves for the past few days, and my mind has turned a bit. Advertisement: if the thief, or the thief can be so open and above board. Shaking his head slightly amused, Hanxing pushed in the door. As soon as I entered, I saw Ino mopping the floor with a mop, while Hinata was cooking in the kitchen. The two had a clear division of labor, and a warm picture came to the surface. Hanxing, you're back. Ino, who was mopping the floor, heard the movement and looked happy when he saw Hanxing. Hanxing. Welcome back. Hinata came out of the kitchen, took out the prepared new shoes, and handed them to Hanxing. Put it on. This is what I and Ino picked together. I don't know if the size is right. The two you picked must be right. Hanxing took the shoes without wearing them, and said gently. How do you know I'm back? Hanxing looked at the two girls with a hint of doubt in their eyes. Me? I met little Sakura. I knew from her that you were back. Then, I called Ino to welcome you back together," Hinata said in a low voice, wearing an apron in front of her. "Since you're back, let's eat," Hinata said after a while, and then brought the prepared meals, and Ino went to help. Hanxing wanted to go, but was rejected by the two women, saying that she had just come back, so relax. "There are women like this. What can a husband ask for?" Hanxing murmured as he watched the two women's busy movements, with a happy smile on the corners of his mouth. During a meal, the three of them talked and laughed, sharing their own experiences these days, and even Hinata, who has always been shy, joined in, as if they became a family. At about 9 o'clock, Hanxing sent the two girls away when the two girls were reluctant to leave. Ino was fine and was right next to him. The key thing Hanxing sent is Hinata. The Hyuga family is far from Hanxing's house. Although Hinata has the strength of Jonin now, Hanxing is still worried. The crescent moon hangs high, illuminating the way for the two of them. Advertisement along the way, Hinata was a little silent or shy, Hanxing was used to it. "Hinata, I'll carry you," Hanxing paused and said. Hinata nodded shyly. "I used to see Hanxing carrying Ino to school every day at school." Although there was no expression on his face, he was still a little envious. At this moment, a warm thing suddenly blocked his little mouth. Hinata raised her head and looked at the face in front of her. Her brain was blank for a moment, her face was flushed, and white smoke was coming from her head, and she was on the verge of eruption. Seeing this, Hanxing quickly loosened his mouth and thought to himself, soft, not bad. With Hinata on his back, he felt a different weight and body fragrance. Hanxing smiled. "This time for you first, next time for Ino, Hinata's voice was like a mosquito, her face was flushed, her eyes narrowed into crescents. This was a happy smile. The two did not speak for the rest of the way, cherishing the opportunity to be alone with each other. A good 10-minute journey was literally half an hour away by Hanxing. The Hyuga family is worthy of being the largest family in Konoha today, and the area alone is estimated to be many times larger than the Hanxing family. At the door, two members of the Hyuga clan stood on guard with expressionless faces, and the whole body exuded faint chakra fluctuations. Judging from its appearance, at least it has the strength of Chunin. Advertisement. Hanxing came back with Hinata on his back, causing the two Hyuga members of the gatekeeper to glare at each other. After finishing the hair behind the temples for Hinata, he smiled softly. "We're home, go back." Hinata nodded obediently. After watching Hinata walk into the Hyuga clan, Hanxing turned and left. Walking into a slightly dark street, Hanxing spoke indifferently. "Come out. Stop hiding." Da. A footstep sounded behind Hanxing. A middle-aged man who was somewhat similar to Hinata, with a majestic look on his face, appeared in front of Hanxing. "You should know who I am, right?" "No, last time, my Hyuga family was wrong. If you want anything, just say it, and I can give you everything from the Hyuga family. But, only one condition. Hope you leave Hinata." The last sentence, Hyuga Hiashi, is firm and unequivocal. Chapter 58. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Hyuga Hiashi acquiesced in Hanxing and Hinata's relationship after knowing that Hanxing might be Jiraiya's disciple. Just in case, Hyuga Hiashi sent his clan to investigate all information about Hanxing secretly. After all, it is related to the daughter's future happiness. This investigation made Hyuga Hiashi angry and jealous. This kid is actually a big radish with a big heart and two boats. Not only does he like Hinata, but even the little princess of the Yamanaka family is fascinated by him. How could he endure this? If it wasn't for the scruples of Jiraiya and third Hokage, Hyuga Hiashi would have already made it clear to Hanxing. There is a chance tonight where he has to give Hanxing a choice, Hinata or Yamanaka Ino. As the heir of the Hyuga clan, Hinata's marriage has been the limit of his Hyuga Hiashi's tolerance. If two women serve the same husband, where will he put the Hyuga clan's face in the future? This is absolutely not allowed by him. It's impossible to leave Hinata, as I said last time. Also, I don't like your Hyuga clan's stuff. Advertisement. Hanxing shook his head, his tone indifferent, completely different from his attitude towards Yamanaka Kaiichi. You also know about the Hyuga clan's information. You can only choose one of the little girls from the Hinata family and the Yamanaka family. Hyuga Hiashi spoke again, hitting him right in his arms. What if I don't give up? The corners of Hanxing's mouth twitched, with a wicked smile. With this smile, anyone who knew him knew that he was already angry. Never give up. Who do you think you are, first Hokage? Or Uchiha Madara? Hyuga Hiashi stared at him, and a terrifying aura suddenly radiated from him. There are generally three types of momentum. One is the murderous aura produced by killing too many people. One is the power that comes naturally from staying at a high position for a long time. There will be a certain increase in momentum in battle, but the increase is limited. Generally speaking, momentum is aimed at one's own juniors and acts as an exercise. Hyuga Hiashi's momentum is the first. He participated in World War II and III wars, and he has killed a lot of people in his life. The murderous aura pervaded. Hyuga Hiashi was like a Shura walking out of a sea of corpses and a sea of blood, and a thick, nauseating, bloody aura came from him, and this murderous aura was pressing down on Hanxing like mountains. At this moment, Hyuga Hiashi was really angry. He had no reservations about his murderousness. He decided to teach the unknown boy in front of him a lesson, and then let Hinata leave in front of him. After Jiraiya comes back, it's a big deal to be beaten by Jiraiya. Jiraiya won't kill him anyway. You're talking. Your own apprentice is just as thoughtful as you are. If I don't let my daughter marry him, you can still kill me. Advertisement, huh? Murderous aura. It's still a very strong murderous aura? That direction is the Hyuga clan? Could it be that something happened? Just after eating, Kakashi, who was walking towards the house with the little book in one hand, frowned, and disappeared in a flash. Oh, this breath. It's just youth. Gai Huang, who was exercising, felt this breath, and the body flicker technique started quietly. At this moment, not only Kakashi, Gai, but also some Jonin nearby rushed to the Hyuga clan. After all, the incident with Hinata happened once. This time, murderous aura erupted near the Hyuga clan. Could it be that someone attacked the Hyuga clan, and they could not help but go? At this moment, Hyuga Hiashi didn't know at all because he wanted to use his murderous aura to teach Hanxing a lesson, but he inadvertently attracted the nearby Jonin, and even third Hokage was paying attention. Whoosh! 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 One after another Jonin, elite Jonin and Chunin quietly appeared on the roof not far from Hyuga Hiashi and Hanxing. They hurried over when they thought something was wrong, but they didn't expect that Hyuga Hiashi's opponent was a boy. They all know that this young man, the chief student of the ninja school, does not know the strength. But the method of picking up girls really made the single dogs present envious. There are two girlfriends, and the two identities are not simple. One is the princess of the Yamanaka family, and the other is the princess of the Hyuga family. Both women know each other's existence, and they are very friendly, without a trace of hatred. Advertisement therefore, Hanxing also has another title in the ninja single dog circle, Pickup Girl Holy Hand. Oh, it's interesting. Is this a scene where the old man wants to teach his son-in-law a lesson? This scene is really rare. I thought something happened, and I rushed here. Now, seeing someone teach this kid who spreads dog food everywhere, I feel that it is not a loss. A Jonin in the dark said in a playful tone. On the roof, there were ninjas hiding in the dark, expressing their opinions in a low voice. Off the field. Hanxing is still the same face, he is calm. How can I compare with first Hokage and Uchiha Madara? Don't say anything. Hinata and Ino, I will never let them go, they will only be my women. Even Senju Tsunade is here. That's what I said it. Good good. Hyuga Hiashi said 3 good words in a row, and laughed in anger. Since you don't know what's wrong, don't blame me for being rude. I believe that Lord Jiraiya won't say much when he comes back. If I beat you, will you Hyuga clan not care about me and Hinata anymore? Hanxing rolled his eyes and smiled slyly. If you really beat me, I agree to your marriage with Hinata. Even if she and the Yamanaka clan marry you together, I agree. Even if she lives with you now, I don't care. Chapter 59 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. I have one condition too. You lose, leave Hinata and don't pester her, Hyuga Hiashi sneered. He doesn't believe that the kid in front of him will be his opponent, even if he knows Big Ball Rasengan. The chakra in this kid can be used a few times. His strength is not comparable to Hyuga's promise, so Hyuga Hiashi agreed without hesitation. Can? Hanxing agreed without thinking. As long as he defeated Hyuga Hiashi, the Hyuga clan would never interfere in the future between him and Hinata, and it would save a lot of unnecessary trouble in the future. On the roof not far away, Kakashi looked at the scene below and observed a moment of silence for Hiashi. Others don't know Hanxing's strength, he doesn't know. Just relying on Hanxing to defeat within a few moves, Hyuga Hiashi is no match, not to mention Hanxing has some hidden tactics. With Hanxing's character, he will never fight an uncertain battle. Kakashi sighed in his heart, Patriarch Hiashi, you exported your daughter yourself. Kid. Accept the punishment of the old man. With his palms spread out, an invisible 8 trigrams of Tai Chi emerged from around him, completely covering the whole desolate street. The range alone is several times larger than Hyuga's. Gentle fist. 8 trigrams palms 128 palms. You are already within the range of the old man's gentle fist. You can't dodge if you want to, Hyuga Hiashi sneered. Align your fingers with Hanxing. Jog quickly. One by one, chakra energies the size of bullets shot to the acupoints all over Hanxing's body. Advertisement: this is Hyuga Hiashi's change based on 8 trigrams palms 128 palms. As long as the target is within 8 trigrams, he can use chakra to achieve the ability to acupoint the air. Hanxing's face was calm, his right hand clenched his fist, and the thunder attribute chakra instantly converged towards his right hand. Crackling. The red thunder arc flickers, like a scarlet full moon, weird and terrifying. Suddenly, Hanxing slammed to the ground. Boom. The earth shakes, the earth cracks. An overwhelming force suddenly erupted from Hanxing's fist. The place where Hanxing was, began to crack and collapse at a speed visible to the naked eye, and the spiderweb-like cracks were mixed with red electric snakes, rapidly spreading around. Huge chunks of rubble rose from the ground and sputtered around. The surrounding houses on both sides were directly destroyed by this blow. Hyuga Hiashi's chakra energy projectiles are directly blocked by flying rubble. For a while, the smoke and dust around Hanxing filled the sky, covering the sky, making it difficult to see what was inside. What happened? Why can't I see clearly? Some Jonin, who had come to watch the fun, were horrified when they saw such an astonishing momentum. Whoosh! Advertisement amidst the dust. A figure suddenly emerged from it. He jumped high, and he was in the air, with blue veins bursting around his eyes. Obviously he had opened his eyes. You think your smoke can stop me? Don't even look at what the Hyuga clan do? Hyuga Hiashi is indifferent with a hint of pride. It's over. 8 trigrams palms empty palms. The rich chakra filled his palms, and a powerful chakra shockwave erupted from his hands, and the surrounding dust was instantly swept away. Hanxing's expression remains the same, meaningful. Yes, it's over. With the palm of his hand, a huge red thunder dragon quietly emerged. It is like an ancient beast awakened, with the power of destroying the world. The surrounding void swayed with ripples at the moment it appeared, and it seemed that some could not bear its appearance. Facing the empty palm that came from the lacing, I saw it opened its mouth wide and swallowed it directly into its belly. Hanxing's thoughts moved, and the thunder dragon of world destruction instantly rushed like Hiashi in the sky. Hyuga Hiashi in midair couldn't take advantage of it, and his face changed greatly in the face of the thunder dragon rushing towards him. He couldn't hide the horror in his heart, he felt an extremely dangerous feeling from it. Without any hesitation, the whole body of chakra rushed to the acupoints all over the body. 8 trigrams palms revolving heaven instantly emerged, forming a solid chakra barrier. Boom! The moment the thunder dragon collided with the chakra barrier, Hyuga Hiashi's revolving heaven was instantly destroyed. Advertisement: the whole person also flew backwards by the impact of the thunder dragon, and just landed on the flat ground opposite. That's where Hanxing's punch didn't reach. The fight between the two was instantaneous, and when the dust was raised, the ninja in the distance could not see it at all. In a moment, the raised smoke gradually disappeared, and a bottomless giant pit with a diameter of about 100 meters appeared in front of everyone. Inside the pothole, the electric snakes with the power that made the scalp numb and red, swam freely inside like a swimming fish, as if they had become a minefield. At the very center, Hanxing stood there indifferently, as if everything around him existed. On the opposite side of the pothole, Hyuga Hiashi looked at the boy across from him with a confused look on his face. In just 2 moves, he, the patriarch of the Hyuga clan, has already lost. The defeat is completely destroyed. Especially in the end, the Thunder Dragon broke through his revolving heaven, but suddenly disappeared. He knew that the boy on the other side had left his hand. Looking at the huge pothole in front of him, Hyuga Hiashi understood a little, and understood why the boy could suddenly summon a red Thunder Dragon. There are also some who can't believe that everything in front of them is caused by the opposite boy. Especially the red lightning in the pothole, every one of them. Hyuga Hiashi felt extremely dangerous from the inside. He believed in his intuition, and the reason why he survived World War II and the Third World War was not only because of his own strength and scorn, but also his intuition accounted for a large part. Chapter 60 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. Looking at the dense red arcs in the pit, Hyuga Hiashi's scalp tingled for a while. Thinking of the Thunder Dragon after their combination, the power is at least many times stronger than the red arcs inside. He regrets it a little now. Why did he promise this kid to fight him? Why did he promise Hanxing those conditions? Now it seems that Hanxing was ready to ask that question. He jumped into the trap of the hunter Hanxing like a little white rabbit. Is this your bloodline limit? Hyuga Hiashi asked after a moment of silence. Yes. Hanxing nodded. After 5 years of practice, Hanxing's Dantian's dark blue liquid chakra learned to compress like last time, successfully pulled it up again, and turned into purple liquid chakra. If the dark blue chakra was water before, the purple chakra now is mercury, which is much denser. Hanxing believes that the next compression will definitely be able to compress the liquid chakra into a solid. A drop of purple chakra is 10 times larger than a drop of dark blue chakra, and a drop of dark blue liquid chakra is 10 times larger than gaseous chakra. In other words, Hanxing's chakra today is 100 times more powerful. It's enough to compare to a tailed beast. With the promotion of chakra, Hanxing's thunder fruit has also been successfully upgraded, from the previous dark blue to red. 10 times the power. Hanxing can now use a lightning-style ninjutsu with a minimum power of 100 million volts. Advertisement: I lost this game. You and Hinata are my words, I won't interfere. At this moment, Hyuga Hiashi's face was extremely complicated, and after speaking, he turned and ran towards the Hyuga clan. After confirming that the red thunderbolt is Hanxing's blood following the limit, Hyuga Hiashi's purpose has been achieved. To be honest, he wanted to go back on it, but unfortunately, he couldn't. Not to mention that there are so many ninjas watching not far away. Even his dignity as the head of the Hyuga clan will not allow him to regret it. The strongest of the Hyuga clan is only elite Jonin. Hanxing can easily defeat him. The strength is enough to compare with elite Jonin, and even Hyuga Hiashi suspects that Hanxing's strength has reached cage level. Cage level aside, let's talk about the fact that he defeated the veteran elite Jonin at the age of 12. Even 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato does not have such strength at this age. With such talent, in a few years, Konoha executives will definitely have his place. Especially Hanxing's terrifying punch, and the last red Brontosaurus. I am afraid that only the ancestors of Tenin, or the legendary Tenseigan of the Hyuga family, can live in a low-grade way. It's just that Hinata will suffer in the future. I'm going to marry Chiba Hanxing. Hyuga Hiashi gritted his teeth and murmured, with a hint of loneliness in his eyes. It looks like the Zong family will be succeeded by Hanabi. What Hyuga Hiashi was thinking about Hanxing is unknown. After Hyuga Hiashi left, Hanxing made the red arc of thunder in the pothole disappear and disappeared. After Hanxing left, some ninjas who were watching from a distance moved forward to check. The 100-meter-long pothole is charred black. It is mixed with some red, hot gravel. Advertisement: looking down from the sky, it looks like a meteorite falling from the sky. As soon as everyone approached, a strong hot wind rushed towards them. Tisk. Tisk. It's time to catch up with the S-Class Forbidden Technique, Asuma said solemnly. Is this really caused by this class of chief students? I have some doubts that I am dreaming. Hey, I thought this kid just loves to sprinkle dog food, but now, I feel that he is really awesome. The ninjas around them expressed their opinions in horror. Hokage office. And Anbu informs Yuan Fei of what just happened today. Hiruzen. Yuan Fei Hiruzen, who already knew everything in his heart, gave the order directly. Let the Earth-style ninja fix that large pothole. I'll arrange other things freely. Okay, let's go. Yes. What a worry-free guy. You made such a big noise for me as soon as you came back, and you have to let me wipe your ass. But I also want to thank Hiashi for letting me see your true strength with my own eyes. You are really like Kakashi as in the report. Blood next to the limit. Elite Jonin. Not bad, not bad. This terrifying talent. Even Tsunade and the others don't have it at your age. Ha ha ha. Tsunade has finally done a good thing for Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen first shook his head and frowned, then he was full of relief and laughed. Anyway, Hanxing is his disciple and grandson. He belongs to Yuan Fei's Hiruzen family. Advertisement, maybe. Let him. Yuan Fei Hiruzen's eyes were burning. Root. In a dark room. Shimura Danzo looked at the information in his hand. It was nothing else, it was what happened tonight. Including the cause, the result, and the battle process, it is written in great detail. If Hanxing is here, I have to once again sigh the power of the intelligence system at the root. Chiba Hanxing. Danzo smashed the paper in front of him with a fierce look. I really didn't expect it. The kid I haven't seen for a few years now has the strength to defeat Elite Jonin. And the red thunderbolt and blood follow the limit. Danzo's expression was extremely cold. Such a talent must be controlled by oneself. With him, it is equivalent to having a cage-level powerhouse in the future. Let's see what Yuan Fei Hiruzen will do with me in the future. Chiba Hanxing. Not bad. Very good. Danzo smiled grimly, like lion majesty in the dark. Due to the presence of many ninjas at the time, the news spread throughout Konoha in the blink of an eye. The Yamanaka clan, the Nara clan, the Akamichi clan, Konoha village big and small families have received information that Hanxing and Hyuga Hiashi are fighting tonight. Chapter 61 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. There are those who praise, those who win over, those who are jealous, and so on. In a word, Chiba Hanxing, a poor genius, can't be provoked, he can solve it by himself, the family doesn't care. Just kidding, you can defeat Hyuga Hiashi, a veteran ninja with a blood limit. Let's not talk about strength, let's talk about the power behind him. Since Hyuga Hiashi lost to Hanxing, whether Hyuga Hiashi admits it or not, Hanxing is Hyuga Hinata's fiancé. In addition, the little princess of the Yamanaka clan also cares about him. These two clans alone can make Hanxing walk sideways in Konoha. Not to mention that the Ino-Shika-Cho clans have always been inseparable. This counts. Hehe. The whole Konoha can provoke Hanxing and Hokage. No matter how the situation changed outside, Hanxing had already returned home and slept peacefully. The next day, Kakashi was surprisingly not late, but just told Yuan Fei Hiruzen's original words and gave them a few days off. Amidst the cheers of Naruto, an Anbu appeared in front of the Kakashi crowd. Kakashi-senpai, Hokage-sama wants to meet Chiba Hanxing. Oh, Hanxing is looking for you, Kakashi said without looking up, as if he had expected it. Advertisement, then I'll leave for a while, Naruto, and everyone, see you later. After speaking, he followed Anbu in front of him and walked towards Hokage's office. Hokage office. Yuan Fei Hiruzen looked at the young man in front of him carefully, with a look of approval in his eyes. Being able to not change color under his gaze, this kind of heart is good. He took a deep breath and let it out slowly. Speaking of which, this is the third time we meet. Yes. Lord Hokage. Hanxing nodded, neither humble nor arrogant. Don't be so unfamiliar. Speaking of Tsunade as my disciple, you are also my disciple. Yuan Fei Hiruzen smiled softly. I asked you to come here because I have two things to tell you. One is that I have already finished the matter for you last night. The other is that with your current strength, It is not suitable to stay in Kakashi's group. I believe you understand this. I meant to put you on Kakashi's team until the Chunin exam in a few months, then join Anbu. Who would have thought about what happened last night and what happened last night? I plan to let you join Anbu in advance. Only in this way will your strength be improved, Yuan Fei Hiruzen said solemnly. Of course, the premise depends on your opinion. You are my disciple and grandson, I will not force you. Yuan Fei Hiruzen's voice changed and he played the emotional card again. I want to think about it, Hanxing thought. Okay. I'll give you 3 days to think about it. It just so happens that your group is on vacation, so think hard and relax. Yuan Fei Hiruzen didn't even think about agreeing. Okay. If nothing happens, I'll take my leave, Lord Hokage. Advertisement, go. Yuan Fei Hiruzen waved. Leaving the Hokage office, Hanxing went straight back to his home. Talking with Yuan Fei Hiruzen, some disrupted his rhythm. Yuan Fei Hiruzen didn't know his true strength and thought that his strength could only be improved by Anbu. In fact, otherwise, his current strength, if he could break through, would have already broken through. The threshold of Super Shadow is too hard. He has not found a way to break through. The only thing he can think of is Sage Mode. He plans to wait for Tsunade to board Hokage before going to practice. These aside, for him, neither the Anbu nor the Kakashi group will improve his strength. In Kakashi's place, he'll be doing some boring tasks these few months. There's not enough time. On the other hand, Anbu is different. He often bleeds, and he can go out of the village to complete tasks and have vacations. The degree of freedom is high. In this way, when he returns from the task, he can accompany the 2 daughters of Hinata. While pondering, Hanxing made up his mind that he would take it with him in Anbu until the Chunin exam, and after Orochimaru killed 3rd Hokage, Tsunade would come out of Anbu after he took the throne. After making the decision, Hanxing's mood relaxed. Yuan Fei Hiruzen gave him 3 days to think about it, it just happened to be a holiday. As for Kakashi, send a shadow clone to deal with it. While thinking about it, Hanxing had already reached the door. As soon as he entered, Hanxing paused and narrowed his eyes, interesting. In his electromagnetic induction, a magnetic field is motionless in the house. Advertisement apparently, there are people in the house, still the daring kind. Click. Hanxing pushes the door in. An old man with a gloomy face and a bandage was sitting there expressionlessly. Hanxing thought to himself, who am I? It turns out to be the Pot King Danzo. As for the purpose of his coming here, Hanxing already had the answer in mind. Who is your excellency? What are you doing at my house? Hanxing frowned, pretending not to know him. Old man Shimura Danzo, senior advisor of Konoha, chief of roots. Shimura Danzo laughed. This smile really makes Hanxing not flattered, you might as well not smile. It turned out to be Mr. Danzo. I wonder why Mr. Danzo came to my house. I know what happened yesterday. Your strength is good. Come to my roots. The roots need talents like you. Pot King Danzo straight to the point. Sure enough. Hanxing thought to himself, he had come to recruit once last time, but after being killed by Hanxing, nothing happened. Last night's fight with Hyuga Hiashi, his strength or talent, will make Danzo excited again. Lord Danzo is late. I just promised Lord Hokage to join his Anbu. Hanxing shook his head and refused. Chapter 62 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. The King of Pots is here. If he really joins the route, then he is a fool. He knows what the route is like. You can rest assured. As long as you join the route, Yuan Fei Hiruzen, I will tell it myself. Pot King Danzo seems to have expected it. No, I think it's better to join Anbu. Hanxing refused again. Since that's the case, then the old man will leave. But, the old man believes. You will definitely change your mind. Shimura Danzo said meaningfully, and strode away. After Shimura Danzo left, Hanxing's expression instantly turned cold. The last sentence of Shimura Danzo is obvious, with a hint of menace. Hanxing's own strength, how many people Shimura Danzo sends over is no use. The only women in the world who can threaten him are Hinata and Ino. With Danzo's mad dog personality, it's definitely possible to do this. Danzo. I hope you don't provoke me. Otherwise, I will definitely make you regret coming into this world, Hanxing murmured indifferently. The voice is extremely cold, like a cold wind in the 9 secluded places, making people shudder. Shadow clone technique. Hanxing made 2 shadow clones. Each of these 2 shadow clones has 1/3 of their chakra, and the strength reaches elite Jonin. Advertisement. You 2 went to protect Hinata secretly, and when you met a member of the root group, you directly killed it. It was really lost. One person entangled the member of the root group, and the other took Hinata away. Hanxing commanded directly. Understood. Ontology. After the 2 shadow clone finished speaking, they left quickly. Hanxing himself ran towards Ino. The Hyuga family is the #1 wealthy family in Konoha today, and Hinata is the daughter of Hyuga Hiashi, so it is unlikely that they will be caught. On the contrary, it is Ino. The Yamanaka family is not as strong as the Hyuga family, so Danzo may take advantage of this opportunity. After all, persimmons have to be soft. While thinking about it, Hanxing turned into a thunderbolt and ran towards Ino's direction. At this time, the 3 of Ino were bored doing D-level tasks. Hanxing was hiding in a big tree, waiting in secret. An hour, 2 hours, until evening. After saying goodbye to Asuma with exhausted faces, the 3 Ino walked towards their respective families. Before an intersection, Ino and Shikamaru separate. Go to your home. In the dark, Hanxing narrowed his eyes, and a trace of murderous intent quietly spread out. Are you here, too? It looks like they are still 2 Jonin. Very good, Danzo. Since you did it, don't blame me. The figure moved and quietly appeared in front of the 2 roots. Are you 2 looking for Ino? Hanxing's tone was indifferent, and murderous intent filled his body. Chiba Hanxing. Don't get in our way. We are asking Yamanaka Ino to go to the root by order of Mr. Danzo. One of the members of the root said blankly. Advertisement, very good. Then you can go to hell. Hanxing gave a grim smile and suddenly shot. The strong thunder fist slammed directly at the 2 members at the root. The members of the roots have been trained in killing skills since childhood, and they live by killing, so they are no strangers to murder. When Hanxing appeared, they were secretly vigilant. At the moment of his shot, they didn't hesitate, they took out the short blade behind them to face Hanxing. It's a pity that they don't know the power of Hanxing Thunder Fist, otherwise, they would never have done such a reckless behavior. Boom! Hanxing's 2 pairs of thunder fists collided with 2 short blades at the root. The rich thunder attribute chakra suddenly erupted from both fists. The violent energy directly smashed the short blades of the 2 Anbu into pieces. Unabated, bombarded the body of the 2 Anbu. Boom! Crackle! Crackle! The 2 root members didn't have time to react, and were directly blasted into a charred corpse by the red arc. From Hanxing's appearance in front of the root, to the fight between the 2 only happened in an instant. After waiting, Ino in the distance turned his head when he heard the movement. Looking in the direction of Hanxing with a puzzled look. At this time, Hanxing has no need to hide. A flash appears in front of Ino. Advertisement. Taking a deep sniff of the fragrance on Ino's body, Hanxing smiled dotingly. Okay. Don't look at it. Where did you get rid of the 2 little thieves? Let's go home. Does Ino look like I'm a fool? But, she knows, Hanxing doesn't say it's for her own good. Okay. But, you have to carry me back. He nodded in response, and then said coquettishly. It is good. Carry Ino on your back and rush to Ino. After all, Danzo has already shot. He can't guarantee what happened to Hinata. There is no memory in his mind. He can be sure that Hinata is temporarily safe, and at least 2 shadow clones still exist. After sending Ino home and instructing him, Hanxing left in a hurry. Ino nodded obediently. It was the first time she saw Hanxing like this. She knew something must have happened. Now is not the time to play and act like a spoiled child. At the same time, she made up her mind to practice hard. Hanxing didn't tell her. She knew that she must be afraid of her worries, and that she was not strong enough. Next time, I will definitely fight side by side with you. Ino clenched a small fist and secretly said. With electromagnetic induction, Hanxing quickly sensed the positions of Hinata and the 2 shadow clones, and with a flash of electric light, they appeared near the 2 shadow clones in an instant. Yo. Ontology. Here we go. A shadow clone greeted. Hanxing nodded and saw two masked corpses not far from the two shadow clones. Is this the one sent by Danzo? Chapter 63 Previous chapter Next chapter advertisement. That's right. The body. It's the root man. We've checked, and both corpses have the root tongue curse mark on their tongues. It's time to work. The next thing is left to me. After Hanxing finished speaking, the shadow clone technique was lifted, and a step appeared in front of Hinata. Hanxing. Who are they? Are they here to find me? Hinata changed his usual shyness and said seriously. No. Some sewer rats. No big deal. I'll send you back. Hanxing stroked Hinata's purple hair and smiled gently. Hanxing knew that the matter of the two shadow clones could not be concealed from Hinata. However, this matter belongs to the dark side of Konoha, and he doesn't want Hinata to know, as long as Hinata can be safe and happy. Oh, I see. Hinata was a little frustrated. Ah, Hinata exclaimed. However, Hanxing directly hugged Hinata by the waist, and a princess hugged him. In Hinata's shyness, Hanxing strode forward. Along the way, Hanxing didn't care about other people's pointing, and still went his own way, but Hinata couldn't. From the Hyuga family, Hanxing gently put Hinata down from his arms and whispered in his ear, "Baby Hinata, it's home." Hinata opened her eyes, ignoring saying goodbye to Hanxing. Her red face ran straight towards the house. Hanxing smiled warmly. How cute, it will be ready to eat in a few years. Left with the murderous eyes of the two guards of the Hyuga family. The full moon hangs high, and the stars are shining. Advertisement on a roof. Hanxing closed his eyes, and the electromagnetic induction spread like a tide, covering the entire Konoha in the blink of an eye. He is looking for the position of Danzo. Danzo, as the top leader of the root, has a very hidden position. Even the General Jonin does not know his position. I am afraid that only Konoha F4 knows his position. But he didn't panic. Danzo came over today. He has used electromagnetic induction to remember Danzo's human body magnetic field. As long as Danzo does not leave Konoha, Hanxing believes that Danzo will be doomed tonight. In his mind, a human body magnetic field swiped in front of him one by one. Hanxing gradually screened and quickly sensed Danzo's human body magnetic field. Hanxing sneered, "What a stinky mouse." Under his induction, Danzo's human body magnetic field is underground, and there are many human body magnetic fields around it. If Hanxing guessed correctly, it should be the base of the root. It's a full moon again. What a good killing night. Looking up, Hanxing's tone was indifferent and cold. Looking for the direction, Hanxing disappeared in place with a flicker. In a somewhat deserted jungle, Hanxing quietly eliminated several root members who were standing guard outside. With one step, Moonwalk is activated. The whole person appears in midair. He stands out of thin air, with an animal mask plucked from the root's face on his face. On the ground, a shadow clone, with lightning flashing on both fists, like a red full moon. The rich chakra is like substance, the red arc is violent, and the space has a slight distortion. It's completely different from the thunder fist that Hyuga Hiashi used last night. Advertisement: this is the maximum power that Hanxing can currently use thunder fist. How many of you? Are you ready? Hanxing turned his head and spoke to the few shadow clones that had just appeared in midair. Okay. Main body. A shadow clone said, but I saw 4 shadow clone hands, each holding a big ball Rasengan. There is also a strong chakra attribute on it. There is wind in half of the thunder. Then, let's do it, today. The roots will disappear from the Konoha. Hanxing's face was calm, neither happy nor sad, as if he was talking about a trivial matter. Reach out. A red arc emerges in my hand. With the increase of chakra, the arc in Hanxing's hand is also more and more dazzling. Crackling, crackling, crackling. Then, a shocking scene appeared. The red thunderbolt in Hanxing's hand began to spread towards the sky, straight into the night sky. Such a strange situation immediately attracted the attention of all the ninjas in Konoha, and some people with knowledge came here one after another. Go. Hanxing said to Shadow Clone next to him, and he is increasing the output of chakra again. Advertisement. The thunder and lightning that stretched into the sky suddenly became extremely rich, like a red beam of light. He knew that as soon as the news came out, a large number of Konoha shinobi would definitely come over. There was no room for him not to speed up. Under the ground, Yamanaka Wind, who was eating bananas, changed his face. This kind of ninjutsu is not good. Someone attacked the root. After all, a flicker disappeared in place. In the dark room, Danzo was living on crutches and looked at the photo on the side with a trace of fire in his eyes. Just bring those two women back and see if you come to my roots. A smile appeared on Danzo's gloomy face when he thought that he had a super genius right away. Danzo-sama. It's not good. I sense that someone above our heads is performing S-class ninjutsu. Yamanaka Kase said anxiously. Haha. How brave. I want to see who dares to attack my root. Gather all the members of the root to follow me out. Danzo, who had a hint of a smile, suddenly turned gloomy again. Just then, on the ground, Hanxing's shadow clone smiled grimly. Like 2 rounds of scarlet full moon, the thunder fists heavily bombarded the ground. This ground is right above the root headquarters. Boom! The rich chakra power and the violent thunder and lightning suddenly erupted on the fists. Chapter 64. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. A roar like a thunder blast resounded throughout Konoha. The originally empty ground suddenly appeared one after another cracks, then expanded and collapsed, covering the surrounding kilometer range in the blink of an eye. Densely packed, red lightning with palpitating power is like a flood, and it begins to fall down and wander. The members of the root who were too late to dodge were swallowed up by the red lightning and turned into charred corpses. The whole root suddenly rioted. In midair, Hanxing sensed everything below and said indifferently, "It's your turn." Clear. The 4-shadow clone did not hesitate, and threw the big ball Rasengan with the attribute of wind and thunder into the hole below. Below, in the mouth of the cave, Danzo's face changed from red to blue, from blue to purple, and he laughed in anger. Good, good. The old man swears to kill you, kill you. Speaking of the last sentence, Danzo's eyes have turned red. Not good. Get out of the way of Danzo-sama. Yamanaka Wind pulled Danzo to hide around, and he felt that there were 4 more S-rank ninjutsu thrown here from the sky. But there are red electric snakes everywhere not far away, and there is nowhere to hide. As a last resort, he ordered, all ninjas who know Earth Style, cast Earth Style Defense. Earth Style Earth Flow Wall. Advertisement, Earth Style Earth Stream Wall. Each root ninja performs his best Earth Style ninjutsu, even the Yamanaka style. 1 side, 2 sides, until several layers of earthen walls are stacked and Danzo is firmly protected inside. I must kill him. Definitely. Danzo was still roaring in anger at this time. His eyes were cloudy, like a mad beast who chose someone to devour. This is the hard work of his life. If it is not handled properly now, it will be ruined. Boom. Boom. As Danzo just finished roaring, 4 big ball Rasengans with wind and thunder attributes fell directly from above. The deafening roar sounded again. With the wind attribute, Rasengan is extremely sharp and can easily cut through steel. With the thunder attribute, Rasengan is violent and destructive, plus recto. Adding the 2 is not as simple as 1 plus 1. The entire root is directly enveloped by the destructive power of these 4 Rasengans. A member of the root who secretly escaped the catastrophe turned into a charred corpse directly under this blow. The defensive earth style arranged by Danzo and others was directly smashed into pieces by these 4 big ball Rasengans. Except for some high-level root members of Danzo, the other root members are all dead under these 4 Rasengans. Advertisement. At this moment, the red electric snake that penetrated downwards, except for some high-level locations such as Danzo, has penetrated the entire root. Looking from top to bottom, the dense thunder and lightning dance inside, flickering, bright and extinct. The entire root was completely replaced by a piece of red, like a magma hell, and a thunder abyss. Above, holding the lightning beam, Hanxing sensed every move below, with a hint of surprise in his eyes. This is not dead. Sure enough, good people don't live long, and bad people live for thousands of years. But that's the end of it, Hanxing sneered. At this time, The full moon in the sky has been completely shrouded in a dark cloud. Thunder flashes in the dark cloud, and the bright and extinguishing is uncertain, and the sound of thunder is incessant. With a wave of the right hand, in the dark cloud, thunder and lightning as thick as buckets fell directly from the inside. Densely packed and endless, just looking at this power makes one's heart stunned, and the scalp tingles. Lightning-style thunder prison. Not far away, a large number of ninjas appeared in Hanxing's field of vision. The leader is none other than Yuan-Fei Hiruzen. Behind him, the Jonin of Konoha looked solemn. Yuan-Fei Hiruzen, looking at everything in front of him, was inexplicably horrified. Even at his peak, he could barely achieve this kind of power. Alas! Danzo, I'm afraid he will die. Yuan-Fei Hiruzen sighed, with a hint of loneliness in his eyes. Advertisement. This terrifying destruction was unbearable even for him at his peak, let alone the thunder and lightning roaring in the sky that didn't stop. An old friend of many years died like this. It really hit him hard. Lord Hokage, are we going to take action? Said a Jonin behind him. As soon as these words came out, the other ninjas looked at the ninja who spoke like a fool. Let's not talk about the strength of the masked man, whether we can win or not. Let's talk about the Red Thunderbolt. How familiar this scene is. Didn't you just meet yesterday? You still don't know who he is? Who else but Chiba Hanxing? The most complicated ones are Yamanaka Kaiichi, Kakashi, Hyuga Hiashi and others. They didn't expect Hanxing to have such strength. With such strength, as long as Lord Jiraiya is not there, he can definitely walk sideways in Konoha. Hey, you shouldn't have killed Danzo before. I thought you were prudent and mature, unlike your teacher's violent temper, but now it seems that I was wrong. Yuan-Fei Hiruzen sighed. Dragon has reverse scales. You will die if you touch it. Danzo should pay the price for what he did if he dared to touch Hinata and Ino. As he spoke, Hanxing slowly took off the mask on his face, revealing a handsome and fair-skinned expression. Face. He knew that his red thunderbolt belonged to his own unique bloodline boundary. Many people had seen it a few days ago, and he originally wanted to destroy the root before no one arrived. Unexpectedly, Danzo seems to belong to Xiaoqiang, so difficult to kill. Let Yuan-Fei Hiruzen and others rush over. Seeing Hanxing take off the mask, all the people around took a deep breath. Chapter 65. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Guessing in your heart is one thing, and seeing it with your own eyes is another. Alas! You go. Leave Konoha to find your teacher. Yes. But before I go, I still want to advise you a few words. Old man of the third generation. You are old, your strength is not at the peak, you have the reputation of Hokage, but you do not have the strength of Hokage. With your presence, Konoha will never be thriving and full of vigor, but just like you, getting worse and worse. Because of you, those young ninjas in Konoha will never be able to make their mark, and you don't know what they think. When you're old, you should do what the elderly should do. Don't be obsessed with power all the time. You should still think about the candidates for 5th Hokage. Hanxing's face was dull. Every word was pearly. Every word. Yuan-Fei Hiruzen's face became more and more sad, and it became more and more ugly. Presumptuous. Chiba Hanxing. You are a genin. What qualifications do you have to talk to Lord Hokage like that? Ebisu raised his glasses and reprimanded loudly. In his heart, Lord Hokage was busy for Konoha, diligently, dedicated his life, and was the person he admired the most. How could he be insulted like this? Qualification. Just rely on this, Hanxing sneered, biting his fingers. The rich chakra instantly gathered in his palm, like a substance. Summoning technique. A roar. Boom. Advertisement. Amidst the smoke, a Katsuyu with a height of tens of meters appeared at the edge of the thunder abyss. Hanxing calmly jumped back in the air and landed on top of Katsuyu's head. Lord Hanxing, is there anything you want me to do? Katsuyu spoke gently, his two tentacles swaying back and forth, as if he was a little puzzled. Why are they all Konoha's ninjas? Isn't the one at the head the 3rd Hokage? This is Katsuyu. Hanxing. Can summoning out Katsuyu? Isn't that his teacher? Hanxing. It's actually Tsunade Sama's disciple. After seeing that Hanxing's summoning released Katsuyu, Some ninjas who were waiting to attack Hanxing died one after another. Can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. No wonder Lord Hokage indulges Hanxing so much, killing the root just to let him leave Konoha, instead of directly ordering the strangulation. It turned out to be 2 disciples and grandchildren. Is this a Hokage infighting? Yabisu was even more direct. The moment he saw Katsuyu appear, he immediately shrank out like a quail. Hanxing's familiar ninjas, such as Hiashi, Kaiichi, Yuhihong, etc., have long been numb to Hanxing's series of tactics. It's nothing. I called you here today to let the wind out, Hanxing grinned. While speaking, the thunder of the sky gradually came to an end. Advertisement at this time, everyone looked away from Hanxing and looked at the roots not far away. After a while, the dark clouds dissipated, revealing a full moon on the night. Moonlight shines down. The entire route was completely turned into a piece of scorched earth, and it was extremely hot inside, and occasionally a red electric arc could be seen flashing. The pungent burnt smell came from the surface, and from the outside, it was a bottomless, hot dark red abyss. It's more like a natural formation, not man-made. Whoosh! At this moment, a figure flew out from inside. Holding a charred corpse in his hand, he could vaguely see some unburned bandages on his body. He threw it directly in front of Yuan Fei Hiruzen. Hey! This is the corpse of Danzo's old dog, Hanxing said indifferently, walking up to Katsuyu to remove Shadow Clone. This is your body? The one just now is actually a Shadow Clone? So, before we came, Danzo wasn't dead yet? Yuan Fei Hiruzen was furious. That's right. Danzo, that old dog, not only transplanted first Hokage cells, but also many Sharingans from the Uchiha family. How could it be so easy to kill him? If he were an ordinary person, I would have destroyed his roots long before you arrived, Hanxing sneered. When Hanxing electromagnetically sensed the arrival of Yuan Fei and Hiruzen, he immediately decided to drag Yuan Fei, Hiruzen and others with Shadow Clone, and the main body went down to destroy Danzo. Advertisement: today's Hanxing, with Thunder Fruit developed to Ultimate, has basically been immune to lightning, and he can even control lightning in places where there is lightning. It can be said to be his poison and my good medicine. Like a fish in water, Hanxing came to the bottom and saw Danzo, who was still struggling there, with charred corpses everywhere beside him. Apparently, Danzo is now the only one left at the root. Chiba Hanxing. Don't think you can't recognize you if you wear a mask. Why? Kill my roots. Why? Danzo roared loudly with a grim expression on his face. No reason. Because you moved someone who shouldn't be moving. Hanxing's flat voice fell, and the whole person disappeared in place. Puff! In the flash of lightning, Hanxing reached out to Danzo's right eye, and when he dug it fiercely, Hanxing took out a scarlet Sharingan. Is this Shisui's Mangekyo? Chiba Hanxing. The old man swears that this will never be the case. Absolutely not. While talking, Danzo didn't care about the pain in his eyes. He jumped hard, while using wind-style ninjutsu to bounce off the surrounding red lightning. He had to be vigilant to avoid the natural lightning in the sky. Embarrassed and difficult climb up. Undoubtedly the appearance of a ruthless man is revealed. Hanxing sneered, will lousy come and let you go up safely. Hold the palm of your hand and wave it. Chapter 66. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement: the dense red lightning that looks like magma seems to have received an order from Lord Kun. It gathers frantically above Danzo, and a thick lightning barrier is formed in the blink of an eye. The defense of this lightning barrier is like seawater, not a physical defense as substantial as a shield. Therefore, the furious thunder in the sky of Hanxing can pass through easily and unharmed, and can still bombard indiscriminately. As soon as Danzo gritted his teeth, the iron box on his right hand opened instantly, revealing the Sharingan with his arms densely packed. As soon as it was opened, Hanxing saw that 3 of the Sharingan on Danzo's right hand had closed their eyes. That said, Danzo has died 3 times during that time. Without Sharingan, and without Shisui's right eye, there are only 7 dog lives left. Simple. The corners of Hanxing's mouth twitched, holding Mangekyo's palm and pinching it hard. Click. Click. I saw that the Mangekyo Sharingan in Hanxing's palm was directly squeezed into a pool of blood mud by Hanxing. When the lightning flashed, the blood mud in the palm of the hand turned into fly ash and disappeared without a trace. So far, the so-called strongest illusion has defeated distinguished heavenly gods, and one has disappeared in the ninja world forever. Advertisement. Hanxing finished all this, looked up and watched Danzo climb up like a clown with interest. Although Danzo is the pot king of Konoha, he is really good at playing wind-style ninjutsu. Each high-level wind-style ninjutsu came out of his mouth and his hands as if he didn't need money, and the lightning barrier above him blew out a path abruptly under his series of operations. To this end, Danzo closed 2 more on Sharingan's arm, 5 more left. Hanxing stepped and disappeared in place. He suddenly appeared above the thunder barrier, waiting for the appearance of Danzo. After a while, Danzo was panting, and he showed his head from the thunder barrier in embarrassment. A hint of viciousness flashed on his face. Chiba Hanxing. You wait for the old man. When the old man goes out, you will definitely pay the price you deserve. As soon as I finished speaking, I saw a sound of breaking air coming from above my head. Boom. The dark whip legs, with strong force, directly hit Danzo into the bottom of the root again. Crackle. Crackle. The moment he fell to the ground, the red arc was biting towards Danzo like a lion majesty. 1, 2, after closing the 2 Sharingans again, the murderous intent filled Danzo's sinister face. He knows that there are only 3 Sharingans left, and they can't escape. It's better than that. It's better to kill the boy in front of him, who may cause trouble to Konoha in the future. Chiba Hanxing. Since you want me to die, let's die together. For Konoha, I must kill you, the person who may cause trouble for Konoha in the future. Danzo roared, his face full of justice. If Hanxing hadn't known about Danzo's glorious deeds, he might have been deceived by the head's expression. Advertisement for Danzo's roar, he directly ignored it. The thunder in the sky above was about to end. Hanxing wanted to kill Danzo quickly during this period of time, and it would cause trouble later. With a wave of his hand, the thunder around Danzo began to devour Danzo again. Danzo is no nonsense. His body is wrapped in red lightning and jumps gently, and on his black body, his white teeth are exposed. Wood-style thrusting spear. Danzo's right arm was filled with a strong breath of life, and a huge towering tree appeared from Danzo's right arm in an instant, and then fell vertically on the ground full of lightning. Wood-style is what he has after transplanting Hashirama cells with Orochimaru. In general, he can't use wood-style without using it. Regular use of wood-style has huge side effects. If you are not careful, you will be gradually backed by cells and turn into a big tree. This is also the reason why he didn't use wood-style just now, and now he knows he will die today, so why should he worry so much? Danzo takes this to stand on the tree. His hands quickly form a seal. Wind-style vacuum Daidama. Chakra fills your mouth, open your mouth and squirt. A huge high-pressure wind ball is like a cannonball, tearing the air and blasting towards Hanxing. After this blow, Danzo and the tree under him were instantly devoured by the red electric snake. Hanxing's expression did not change. With a wave of his arm, the surrounding red thunder and lightning instantly converged. In the blink of an eye, a huge red electric snake with a height of more than 10 meters appeared in front of Hanxing. It carried a strong arrogance, and with a flick of its tail, the strong thunder and lightning collided with the huge wind ball with a strong force. Advertisement click. I saw the sharp compressed airball that could tear the air directly swept in half by the thundersnake one tail. Boom. The compressed airball exploded, and the power like a cannonball swept the surrounding, and the piercing wind swept the surrounding like a needle cut. However, the thunder and lightning snake was in the center, and there was nothing on his body. During the lightning flashes, the huge snakehead swam in front of Hanxing, shaking his head and waving his tail, with a human face. At this time, Danzo, who had just been reborn with the help of Sharingan, watched this scene with his own eyes, and his face suddenly became extremely gloomy. Just when I was about to use the last scene, on the ground, a vine composed of thunder and lightning instantly entangled Danzo. Without waiting for Danzo to react, the red arcs that wandered turned into sharp thousands of books and shot at Danzo. So far, Danzo has the last Sharingan left. Moments later, Danzo comes back to life. After the resurrection, Danzo did not hesitate to ignore Hanxing madly. Hanxing naturally knew Danzo's purpose. How could he let Danzo succeed? Go! The palm slapped the red thunder snake in front of him. In front of Hanxing, the incomparably well-behaved giant thunder snake instantly turned into an ancient beast, ignoring it towards Danzo at an extremely fast speed. Chapter 67 Previous chapter Next chapter advertisement. At the same time, Hanxing's thoughts moved, and the entire thunder abyss instantly rioted. Densely packed and endless, the thunder arrows are like raindrops, all falling towards Danzo. Not long after Danzo attacked, he was shot into a sieve by an arrow. With the closing of the last Sharingan on Danzo's right arm, Danzo was reborn in perfect condition again. Before he could move, the Thunder Serpent who had been waiting for a long time. Open your big red mouth and swallow Danzo in one bite. So far, the Pot King Danzo has been completely killed by Hanxing. Hanxing's thoughts moved, and the red arcs in the entire abyss, including the thunder and lightning python in front of him, seemed to have been ordered by King Kun, and they turned into primitive elements and disappeared. All that was left was a charred corpse and a scorching high temperature like a magma version. At this moment, a charred corpse fell from the place where the giant python had just been. Hanxing grabbed it easily, and the figure flew towards the sky. This body is none other than the Pot King Danzo. By the time Hanxing flew over Katsuyu, the violent thunder in the sky had already stopped first, and even the dark clouds above had begun to dissipate, revealing the bright full moon above. Advertisement thus, there is just that scene. Yuan Fei Hiruzen looked at the corpse of Danzo thrown over by Hanxing. His face was blue and white, and he held the smoking gun tightly in one hand, and his angry face became contorted. He stared hard at Hanxing, not knowing what he was thinking. Hanxing's face was calm, his eyes were calm, his arms crossed his chest, and he stood proudly above Katsuyu's head, looking in all directions, full of majesty. At this moment, there is quite the style of Ban Yi fighting the ninja coalition alone. Let's go. Go and find Tsunade, Yuan Fei Hiruzen said hoarsely, and after saying this, his body slumped a lot, as if he had used up all his strength. That's it. Goodbye, old man. Hanxing clapped his hands. The huge Katsuyu disappeared instantly, and then, the whole person turned into lightning, and disappeared from everyone's sight in the blink of an eye. Earth-style ninjas will fill up the pit and, if possible, lift the body out of it and send it to the martyr's garden for burial. Yuan Fei Hiruzen's words represent what happened tonight, and the curtain has come to an end. After Yuan Fei Hiruzen left, the ninjas present looked at each other and left quietly. As ninjas, they know what to say and what not to say, but the scene tonight is something they will never forget, and they will never forget the majestic figure. The entire base of the route was blasted into an abyss, and all the members of the route were killed. Even the leader of the route, Shimura Danzo, the senior advisor of Konoha, became a charred corpse, was carried, and thrown in front of everyone. In front of third Hokage. But third Hokage had no choice but to let him go. Advertisement. The root cause of all this is that Shimura Danzo provokes the boys' two girlfriends. At the same time, they have added two people in Konoha who cannot be messed with again. Hyuga Hinata, Yamanaka Ino. Provoking the two of them, the root is a lesson from the past. Male ninjas have nothing to do with what happened tonight. I just think Hanxing is young and strong. Female ninjas are different. They all regard Hanxing as their idol, or even a crush. In my heart, I have even the slightest jealousy towards Hinata and Ino. Although this world is dominated by ninjas and strength is paramount, women are always inferior to weak men in a certain position. This is the world concept formed by the ninja world for thousands of years. Now, Hanxing's performance tonight, his strength, and the hockey like a red face. I don't know how many ninja girls yearn for it, envy, jealousy and hate. Not to mention Hanxing is an uncompromising warm man who can cook and so on. Some single female ninjas, wishing to be a few years younger, grabbed Hanxing directly into the house and gave birth to monkeys for Hanxing. Among them, Hong Yuhi is one of the best, and even infatuated and unable to extricate herself. From Hanxing's various performances to Ino and Hinata, to tonight's Hokage extinction roots, everything fits perfectly with her childhood fantasy of Prince Charming. Advertisement. Hokage office. Konoha F3 sits opposite each other. The atmosphere is a bit sad. Utatane Kaharu, with red eyes, asked Yuan Fei Hiruzen loudly, "Why did Yuan Fei let Hanxing leave? Did Danzo just die in vain?" Yuan Fei Hiruzen, who was swallowing the clouds, had a hint of sadness in his eyes, a faint Kaido. Otherwise what would happen? Danzo is already dead. Can't he really kill Hanxing? Let's not talk about his weird body flicker technique, just say he shows great strength? Who can kill him? Kakashi? Asuma? Or Guy? Yuan Fei Hiruzen asked rhetorically. After a pause, Yuan Fei Hiruzen said again, "Even if I kill him, how many elites will our Konoha lose? Today's Konoha can't stand the toss." Then, this is the end of the matter? Utatane Kaharu looked unwilling. After all, she is an old friend who has worked together for many years. Although she has done some bad things in secret, she still has feelings. Now that she was killed in her own lair, and she can't take revenge, how can she be reconciled? What else can I do? Now, let's think about how to appease the Yamanaka family and the Hyuga family, Yuan Fei Hiruzen said in a deep voice. What are they doing to appease them? And both of them are sentient ninjas. When you arrived, the Danzo below was obviously not dead. Why didn't they tell you? Speaking of which, Utatane Kaharu, with an ugly face, gritted his teeth. Chapter 68 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. What else? It's not that Danzo is going to take Yamanaka Ino and Hyuga Hinata as hostages and force Hanxing to join the route. Yuan Fei Hiruzen's face was ugly. If he hadn't arrested the daughter of the patriarchs of the two clans without authorization, would there be such a scene? You don't know yet. When Hanxing said that Danzo was going to arrest Ino and Hinata and threatened him. The Ino Shika Cho clan and the Hyuga clan, their four major clans, are in the same camp. Having said this, Yuan Fei Hiruzen's face was even more ugly. He finally made Asuma become the teacher of the Ino Shika Cho clan's young patriarch and used it to connect the friendship of the Ino Shika Cho clan. Everything that happened today was disrupted by Danzo. You mean, the Ino Shika Cho clan and the Hyuga clan, because of what happened tonight, made his four clans allied? Utatane Kaharu realized the seriousness of the matter. No, it's also for this reason that I let Hanxing go. The Hyuga family is now the #1 wealthy family in Konoha, and Ino Shika Cho is an old-fashioned family that has existed since the establishment of Konoha. Their four major families have joined forces, all from their four clans. And, do you still remember the Hiashi incident? How much grievances the Hyuga clan suffered at that time, and now, Danzo wants to capture Hinata. What do you think the Hyuga clan and the Ino Shika Cho tri-clan alliance will do? The Ino Shika Cho three tribes have always been Hokage supporters. We have also brought them in the Hyuga tribe over the years. They should not rebel against Konoha, Mitokado Homura pondered. Yes. No one will lead them, but now there is a strong man who can instantly destroy the root base. This person still has an absolute friendly relationship with their four clans. What do you think will be done? Kill him. The daughter of the patriarchs of the two clans will be widowed. What do you think they will do? Besides, Danzo, relying on Konoha's advisors, robs the geniuses of the noble clans into the root. Do you think they will have no complaints? Advertisement. Yuan Fei Hiruzen's series of rhetorical questions left the two Utatane Kaharu speechless. Hearing Yuan Fei Hiruzen's analysis, the two instantly understood how serious the matter was. Then, what to do now? Utatane Kaharu asked. I will step down from the position of third Hokage after the Chunin exam. Hanxing is right, we are old, we should do what the elderly should do. Let's try to confirm the candidate for fifth Hokage before the Chunin exam. This is an explanation for the Hyuga and the Ino Shika Cho clan. Yuan Fei Hiruzen sighed with a hint of loneliness in his eyes. Short Book Street. After Hanxing came out of Konoha, it took only 10 minutes to get here. Since Hanxing left Tsunade, Tsunade has settled here. In a detached courtyard, Hanxing appeared here in a flash. Pushing the door and entering, as soon as we went there, I saw Tsunade who were going to sleep. Advertisement. In the past 5 years, Tsunade's appearance has not changed at all, but he is still extremely beautiful, and even his physical stalwart has not changed at all, which cannot make Hanxing's Psi 100 healings marks pervert. Why are you here? Tsunade saw Hanxing with a hint of joy in his eyes. Hold Hanxing in his arms and press to death. Hanxing is extremely depressed, don't say hello in this way every time. If he hadn't already endured it once, other people really couldn't bear it, and they would probably be suffocated to death. That, Mr. Tsunade. I may be living with you these days, Hanxing said awkwardly. Tell me, what did you do in Konoha? As Hanxing's teacher, although the two had not been in contact for a long time, Tsunade still understood Hanxing's temper. In normal times, she is gentle and elegant, and she doesn't fight or rob, but once it irritates him, her irritable temper is much stronger than hers. Even Shizune looks worried. No, it's nothing. It's just razing the entire route to the ground and killing Danzo, Hanxing said honestly. What's this? Don't you report old, mother? Tsunade's eyes widened, recalling what Hanxing had just said. What did you just say? Say it again. That is to destroy the entire root base and kill Danzo. F*K. Tsunade blurted out a swear word after hearing this. Advertisement then directly hold Hanxing and press it into his arms again. With a look of excitement, his eyes narrowed into crescent moons. This look is really happy to the extreme. A few minutes later, just when Hanxing was suffocating, Tsunade let go of Hanxing and asked curiously, tell me what happened? Did the old dog Danzo harm you? Hanxing honestly told the cause and effect. Tsunade looked at Hanxing carefully and exclaimed, not bad, boy. You have a wife at such a young age. But, don't worry. As long as you are here with the old lady all day, no one in Konoha will dare to make trouble here. Tsunade slapped his stalwart in front of him, full of hockey. No way. I'm in a good mood today. I'm going to have a drink. You don't have to wait for me. Go to sleep first, Tsunade said, rushing towards the pub. Looking at the back of Tsunade leaving, Hanxing knew that Tsunade probably won't be back tonight. After all, he killed one of the murderers who killed the entire Senju clan. The other one, it is estimated that there is no chance, because, that is his teacher. I want to kill but I don't want to kill. The contradiction is extreme. Otherwise, she wouldn't leave Konoha after learning the truth after the Third World War. Chapter 70 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. One is the disappointment of Yuan Fei Hiruzen and other high-level executives, and the other is the fear that he can't help but do it directly. Hanxing sighed and turned around to keep up. Forget it. Just treat it as what I owe you in my last life, and take a teacher like you. Just after Hanxing reached the short book street, the information about killing the roots tonight was sent back to the major shinobi villages by secret agents from various countries lurking in Konoha. Cloud Shinobi Village. The hot-tempered fourth Raikage had a sneer on his face after seeing the information tonight. The red thunderbolt and blood follow the limit. Yuan Fei Hiruzen is really good. This is a beautiful thing. And another talented young man has been forced away. I really hope this happens again and again, then we can attack Konoha. Lord Raikage. Do you think that the boy with the red thunderbolt bloodline limit has something to do with the one who appeared in the Third War? Otherwise, with the relationship between Yuan Fei, Hiruzen and Danzo, even if Chiba Hanxing and Tsunade were masters and apprentices, it wouldn't be as simple as driving them out of the village, said the linen-clothed in a gray secretary outfit calmly. Who knows? If that kid is really related to him, then catch that kid and force him to show up. We suffered a lot because of him in the third battle. Fourth Raikage's eyes flashed with lightning, as if thinking of something. With anger on his face, he stretched out his hand and punched. Click. The desk in front of him was directly smashed in half by his fist. Advertisement that guy made him, Killer Bee, and the Kingdom of Thunder suffer endless humiliation. Lord Raikage, I don't think we need to investigate. After all, if it's really that person's relative, someone is more anxious than us, Mabui said. That's right. That old guy Onogi. Fourth Raikage sneered. Let's put this matter down first. We'll wait for Onogi's action. Yes. Rock Shinobi Village. Onogi kept the information on the table with a look of resentment. Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt again. He will never forget that during the Third World War, a mysterious man who used thunder and lightning destroyed more than half of their rock shinobi village vanguard. Then he disappeared out of thin air, and most importantly, the talents he cultivated with all his strength, even the candidates for the fourth generation Miwakage died there. How can this not make him angry? After so many years, it finally appeared. No matter whether you are his relative or not, the old man wants you to operate. If you want to blame it, you are from Konoha, and if you want to blame it, you have the same lightning style as him. This bad smell. The old man must come out. Onogi gave a grim smile. Old man. That was more than 10 years ago. It's not necessary. Tsuchikage's son, Huang too, frowned and persuaded. This old man is good at everything, but he is too stubborn. He can still remember things more than 10 years ago. Now that the major countries have finally had a stable and peaceful period, the old man really wants to arrest that kid. Doesn't he want to start a war again? What do you know? Do you think the old man is the kind of person who starts a war indiscriminately? Onogi smiled slyly. Advertisement, then? What do you mean, old man? Huang too asked in confusion. Post a reward on the black market. Spend 100 million taels for the reward. I want the head of that kid. Lois. Is it that people become more shrewd and cunning as they get older? I know my father. I'll do it. San Shinobi Village. Fourth Kage Luo Sha slowly placed the information in front of him on the table. Konoha is really talented, and he is really stupid, and he forced a talented young man away. Unfortunately, why doesn't Tsunade have so many talents? Humph. Maybe try to cooperate with Orochimaru's plan. Fourth Kage's eyes flickered, thinking about Konoha's plan. Kirigakure. Fourth Mizukage Terumi Mei, with a slender figure, looked at the information in his hand intently. She pursed her lips and smiled, like 100 flowers in full bloom. Lightning-style blood follow the limit, but Konoha is really stupid. Advertisement, forget it. It's none of my mother's business anyway. You can do whatever you like. Terumi Mei stretched out lazily, her perfect figure was unobstructed. Kanjuro, who was looking at him next to him, was extremely shy. That bastard. It's been so many years, still not showing up. Is he really dead? What else is holding back? Really, don't let the old lady know where you are, otherwise, you won't be able to get out of bed for a month. Terumi Mei's bright red lips murmured softly, but a finger was gently caressing her forehead. After a while, a smile appeared on the corner of her mouth, as if thinking of some good memory. When he put his fingers down, Terumi Mei returned to normal, only to see a diamond-shaped mark on his smooth and white forehead, carved there like a knife. If Tsunade was here, she would be shocked. The diamond mark was nothing else, it was the 100 healings mark she invented herself. Hanxing, who is accompanying Tsunade, has no idea that because of what happened tonight, his reputation has entered the eyes of cage-level leaders of major countries. There are even shadows from 2 countries with a hint of hostility towards him. At this time, he was drinking with Tsunade. To be precise, Tsunade was drinking. Hanxing watched. Tsunade is not very good at gambling. The wine is not very good. After drinking a dozen bottles, he fell drunk and fell asleep on the table. With this amount of alcohol, there's really no one left. Hanxing pouted. Summoned the bartender, paid the money, carried Tsunade on his back, and walked towards the courtyard where Tsunade was. Chapter 71 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. Go back to your room. Hanxing frowned and pondered. Now that his strength has reached the top, he must learn Sage Mode if he wants to break through. Originally, he was going to study in Shigulan after the Chunin exam. Now, leaving Konoha, I have to advance the plan. Early the next morning, Hanxing informed Tsunade of his plans. Tsunade, who was rubbing his head, listened, his eyes creased into a line. You want to learn Sage Mode? Yes, Hanxing nodded. Hey, you have to know that Sage Mode is not an ordinary difficulty to learn, it depends on talent. Missing you, teacher. I also went to Shibone Forest to learn Sage Mode. It's a pity that the talent is not very good. I gave up after studying for nearly a year and made no progress. Tsunade said here, feeling a little depressed. After a pause, Tsunade's voice changed, but you are different. You are so talented, you should be able to learn Sage Mode like my grandfather. Then, I'm going to the Shibone Forest, take care of you. Go. Go. Tsunade looked impatient. Katsuyu-sama. I want to learn the magic of Shibone Forest. Please. Hanxing bit his finger and displayed the summoning technique. Advertisement, Senjutsu. I understand Hanxing-sama. You just need to put your palm on me. Are you ready? If so, I will perform the reverse summoning technique, Katsuyu said gently. Okay. Hanxing nodded. Goodbye Tsunade-sama. Katsuyu politely bid farewell to Tsunade. Bang. It turned into a puff of smoke. After the smoke cleared, Hanxing and Katsuyu disappeared together. Boom. It's like moving stars. Hanxing's body suddenly appeared in a wet open space. Looking at the small Katsuyu around him and the sticky land around him, Hanxing frowned. Is this the wet bone forest? It's a little dark? In my mind I recalled the information about the Shibone Forest as the three holy places of the same name as Mount Myoboku and Dailong Cave in the original book. Shibone Forest has been passed down from the era of Otsutsuki Kagaya to the present and has a history of thousands of years. Unlike the other two holy places, the Shibone Forest is a whole, and the Katsuyu in the Shibone Forest can be regarded as the clone of the Katsuyu Immortal. Even little Sakura and Tsunade's summonings Katsuyu are part of Katsuyu Immortal. If the three holy places really had to rank, Hanxing would rank the Wetbone Forest first. After all, Immortal Katsuyu can single-handedly make Shibone Forest and the other two holy places equally famous. From this point of view, Immortal Katsuyu is obviously even better. Advertisement, Master Hanxing. Come with me. The natural energy is the strongest here. At this time, Katsuyu, who was with Hanxing, interrupted Hanxing's thinking. It jumped on Hanxing's shoulder and pointed his tentacles. Okay. Hanxing stepped forward. Katsuyu. I'm here. Won't Katsuyu Immortal see me? Lord Hanxing, Immortal Katsuyu has already seen you through me. Yes. Hanxing was stunned. He forgot the clones of these Katsuyu Immortals, and they were also Katsuyu Immortals themselves. After a while, Hanxing followed the guidance of Katsuyu on his shoulders, and came to a place where the ground was wet and slippery, and there were large tracts of vegetation. These vegetations are not only tall, but also dense and densely blocking the sunlight above. It made this place extremely dark, and there was a fragrance in the air, which made Hanxing wonder, shouldn't this environment have a rancid smell? How could it be so fragrant? Hanxing, who doesn't understand, doesn't think too much, and credits it all to Katsuyu Immortal. Lord Hanxing, I'll explain Sage Mode to you next. Katsuyu on his shoulder spoke again. Okay. Please speak. Sage Mode is to absorb the natural energy in the air, which is two different training modes from ninja. But after cultivating Sage Mode successfully, your body will have a great increase. For example, your body's strength will increase exponentially, and when you use ninjutsu, the power of ninjutsu will increase exponentially. Katsuyu diligently explained. Hanxing listened carefully, like an honest elementary school student. After a while, Katsuyu will practice the advantages of Sage Mode and tell Hanxing about the difficulty. Advertisement. Hanxing also understood the Sage Mode of Shizuku Forest after listening to it. The Sage Mode of Shibone Forest is different from the Sage Mode of the other two holy places. It is the mildest and safest Sage Mode. Katsuyu stands on Hanxing's shoulders to absorb the natural energy. Hanxing increases his perception through Katsuyu, and then absorbs the natural energy. To put it bluntly, Katsuyu is the antenna on TV in the past, and the transfer station. As long as there is a problem with Hanxing, the Katsuyu on the shoulders will stop absorbing the natural energy, and then suck out the natural energy in Hanxing's body. Safe. Don't. The White Snake Immortal in Baidailongdong used snake teeth to infuse the human body violently, and if it didn't work, he would eat it directly. Much safer to turn into a toad at every turn than Mount Myoboku. After thinking about it, Hanxing began to practice Sage Mode for the first time. There are two conditions to practice Sage Mode. Hanxing already has both of these conditions. One is to have a powerful chakra, and the other is to have a very strong chakra control. Knees crossed, eyes closed, Hanxing starts his first sage mode. In a dark space, Hanxing felt like he had entered another world. Bottomless, pitch black, like coming to an underground abyss, only accompanied by a bright and colorful light bulb next to it. Hanxing knew that the one next to him should be Katsuyu. In his perception, Katsuyu's body is like a small vortex, madly absorbing the colorful energy falling from the sky. Chapter 72 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. Hanxing frowned and raised his head. He felt that the sky was dark and dark. Where did the colorful energy come from? After a while, Hanxing opened his eyes and informed Katsuyu of his doubts. The dark world you are in can be understood as a world with closed eyes, or a perception of the world. In fact, when you practice sage mode, you will perceive the natural energy in the sky for the first time. You should know this. At this point, if you have practiced perceptual ninjutsu, the first step is to perceive the natural energy in the sky faster, because their spiritual energy is stronger when they practice perceptual ninjutsu. Katsuyu pondered softly. After a pause, he said, "What is the maximum perception range of the dark world you are in?" 400 or 500 meters in radius, Hanxing pondered. "It's so big, not bad. It seems that your mental energy is stronger than you thought," Katsuyu said with a hint of surprise. "Do you know what the first perception range was when Tsunade practiced sage mode?" "How much?" Hanxing asked curiously. 10 meters. Later, after years of cultivating here on and off, her perception range only reached more than 200 meters. Therefore, she is not suitable for practicing immortality. And you are different. You are twice as big as Tsunade, and it doesn't take long for you to perceive the natural energy in the sky. Katsuyu did not hide his praise in his words. Advertisement. That. Katsuyu. Can I ask, Shodai, how much range does he perceive at one time? Hanxing hesitated and asked. Don't compare yourself to him. He looks stupid, but his talent is not generally high. I don't know if he can perceive ninjutsu, but his initial perception range is very large, in his words. At least 7 or 8 kilometers. I sensed the natural energy in the sky in just half a day, and I learned sage mode in a month. Katsuyu said in a leisurely tone, not afraid of hitting Hanxing. Got it. Hanxing didn't feel disappointed in privacy. After all, he was a normal person. Why should he compare himself to the wall hanging from first generation? You have sensed the dark world now, and your task in the future is to expand your perception of the dark world as much as possible, and if you can, try to spread it to the sky, because the sky is where the natural energy is the most intense. After you sense the natural energy from the sky, you are trying to sense the natural energy around your body. However, these are still far away for you. Now you should perceive the natural energy in the sky, Katsuyu explained. Understood. Hanxing nodded. Katsuyu-sama, can I use Shadow Clone to practice? He remembered that Naruto could use Shadow Clone to practice in the original book. Okay. How many Shadow Clones can you make? I'll get Katsuyu around here. 30. 30 is my limit. Hanxing grins. I've already called the surrounding Katsuyu over here. Clear. Hanxing nodded. His hands quickly formed seals. The chakra in his body was instantly divided into 30 portions, and he shouted, Shadow Clone Technique. Advertisement boom. A puff of smoke. 30 Shadow Clone neatly appeared in front of Hanxing. At this time, there was a sound from the jungle. Katsuyu, one by one, wriggled from not far away. It didn't take long for Hanxing's various shadow clones to arrive. Okay. Everyone, then feel at ease with the natural energy in the sky. With a shout from Hanxing, the other shadow clones also enter the state. Time is like flowing water. 10 days pass quietly in the blink of an eye. The 10 days of Hanxing's life have been boring. During the day, I have Katsuyu, and I practice to perceive natural energy. At night, I have to enter the god-level space. After setting the location to the wet bone forest, I also need to practice to perceive natural energy. The only difference was that I practiced alone at night. Without Katsuyu's help, my practice efficiency was very poor, but anyway, the time there was 10 to 1, which was enough to make up for it. During these 10 days, Hanxing has made great progress in his cultivation. Just yesterday, he finally succeeded in perceiving the natural energy of the sky. Meanwhile, Hanxing discovered a secret while practicing to perceive natural energy. Advertisement, that is, as the range of his perception of the dark world increases, the range of his electromagnetic induction also becomes larger and larger. In the past, his electromagnetic induction range was at most the entire Konoha village. Now, after perceiving the entire Konoha, there are also exudate. His electromagnetic induction is the ability to perceive space through electromagnetic waves, and to sense the reflection fluctuations generated by the surrounding people's bodies. This kind of name is too long. Hanxing generally uses electromagnetic induction, and what people perceive is called the human body magnetic field. Strictly speaking, his electromagnetic induction does not belong to perception ninjutsu, but belongs to thunderfruit developed. Who knows, when he cultivates to perceive natural energy, his electromagnetic induction will also increase. This really made him a little puzzled, and he was puzzled, and he still had to continue his cultivation. Cultivating natural energy can also increase electromagnetic induction, which makes Hanxing full of motivation. Therefore, Hanxing was able to perceive the natural energy in the sky within 10 days. Master Hanxing, now you have sensed the natural energy in the sky, and now, try to absorb the natural energy in the sky. Hanxing closed his eyes and heard Katsuyu's gentle voice in his ears. Hanxing nodded secretly, perceiving the world that was originally dark has now undergone a change. In the sky, a trace of colorful light loomed high in the sky. All Hanxing has to do now is to inhale the colorful light from the sky into the body. Chapter 73 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. At this point, Hanxing cannot be carried out in the cultivation space in the future, because if there is no Katsuyu help at this stage, Hanxing will become a Katsuyu stone if it is not good. 1 day, 2 days, a month, all in a blink of an eye. This month, Hanxing has been trying to inhale the colorful energy from the sky into his body, but he has never been successful. However, he wasn't in a hurry, he had time, didn't see it. Jiraiya only learned incomplete sage mode after several decades. On this day, in the dark and damp jungle, Hanxing closed his eyes and continued to practice sage mode, but Katsuyu's voice woke him up from his practice. What happened? Katsuyu. Master Tsunade sent a message asking you to go back, Katsuyu said softly. Tsunade teacher? Hanxing frowned. What can she do to me? Right? The Chunin exam is coming soon. He frowned and thought, if he guessed correctly, Tsunade told him to go back, it must have something to do with Yuan Fei Hiruzen. Okay. I'll go back. Excuse me Katsuyu. It's time to relax a bit from the boring practice. What's more, he doesn't want to miss the Konoha collapse plan. Yes. Lord Hanxing. In Tsunade's house, with a burst of smoke rising, Hanxing's figure slowly appeared here. Thank you Katsuyu. Go back first. I'll find you later. Tsunade dismissed Katsuyu. Advertisement. Goodbye Tsunade-sama, Katsuyu said, disappearing into smoke. Tsunade-sensei. Do you have anything to do with me? Hanxing opened his eyes and asked. Konoha teamed up with Sanagakure and Yinin village to hold a midterm exam. Teacher Yuan Fei plans to let you go back to take it, Tsunade said. Didn't I already leave the village? Why do you want me to go back? Hanxing sneered. I think it's for me to go back and give him a long face, and by the way, let's shock the other 2 major ninja villages. With the character of teacher Yuan Fei, there is indeed such a possibility. Tsunade pondered, so what's your opinion? Go. Why not? It just so happens that I haven't seen Ino and Hinata for a while. Let them know how good your disciple is by the way. Hanxing raised his brows. Yuan Fei Hiruzen was about to get his lunch, how could he not see him off as a disciple and grandson? That's good. Now that you have made up your mind, I don't care. With your strength, taking the Chunin exam is not the same as playing. Remember, hit me hard when you are on the field, and don't lose your teacher's majesty. Tsunade slapped Hanxing on the shoulder and said majestic. Understood. The exam time is the 18th of this month, and there are still 5 days left. If you are all right, go today. That's it. I'll go first. After Hanxing finished speaking, he didn't talk too much. His whole body turned into a beam of electric light and disappeared into the sky in the blink of an eye. The gate of Konoha village. Advertisement incarnation of electric light Hanxing suddenly appeared here. After saying hello to Shenyue Izumo and Gongza Tai, Hanxing walked inside. He appeared here to tell Yuan Fei Hiruzen that he had come back, and this old boy of the province should think more. Just came back, let Hanxing see an interesting scene. I saw Konkuro tugging at Konohamaru's scarf with one hand, and said in a resolute voice, "Little devil, you hit lousy. It hurts. You know what?" Next to Naruto, the little Sakura was dumbfounded and froze in place. "Forget it. Let me get out of the limelight." Hanxing smiled lightly, and with a single step, he quietly appeared behind Konkuro. His face was cold and full of force, and he quickly put a hand on Konkuro's shoulder. "I advise you not to find trouble with the child. You can't afford to provoke the identity of the child. His name is Yuan Fei Konohamaru. He is the grandson of 3rd Hokage Yuan Fei Hiruzen. If you really moved him, it is estimated that Yusan Shinobi Village, the people who come here to take the exam this time, must stay." Konkuro was shocked at first when Hanxing appeared behind him, and when he heard Hanxing's words, he was so frightened that cold sweat broke out on his forehead. He didn't expect his luck to be so bad. If he provokes anyone, he will provoke Konoha's right 3rd generation. At this time, he no longer paid attention to Hanxing's strength, but hurriedly put Konohamaru on the ground. "This time we were wrong, and I'm here to apologize to you." Advertisement Tamari glanced at Hanxing. This man is good-looking and strong. Then walked up to Konohamaru and bowed in apology. Now they are not in their own shinobi village, they are in Konoha Shinobi Village. More is worse than less, not to mention 3rd Hokage's grandson. "No. It's okay, big sister." Konohamaru hurriedly ran behind Naruto and said nervously. "Since the misunderstanding has been resolved, can the 2 people from the tree over there come out?" Hanxing turned his head to look. Everyone looked shocked. "Who else?" Follow Hanxing's gaze. I saw Sasuke and Gaara silently appear on the top of a tree opposite. "It's Sasuke. When did you come back?" Hanxing. Naruto came back to his senses and said happily. "Just got back." Hanxing smiled lightly. "I'll go home first after the matter is settled here." Just as he was about to leave, a faint voice suddenly appeared behind him. "You are very strong. You are qualified to let me know your name." "My name is Sanfal Gaara. How about you?" "My name is Chiba Hanxing," Hanxing said casually. After speaking, without waiting for everyone to speak, his body flickered and disappeared in place. Chapter 74 Previous chapter Next chapter Advertisement. Chiba Hanxing. Yes. Yes. I remember you. You can actually make that guy feel a little scared. I will definitely kill you. Gaara secretly said hideously. "What's your name? Your strength is good, and you are qualified to let me know your name." Gaara turned her head and looked at Uchiha Sasuke. "Uchiha Sasuke." Sasuke said coldly. "I'll remember you." Gaara nodded and said to Konkuro, "Go, you bastard, what a shame." Just like a joke, because of Hanxing's intervention, this matter ended here. Behind Konoha, in a wood, smoking a cigarette, looking at the 3 people who are cultivating hard below, with a hint of approval in their eyes. Since Hanxing left, the 3 seemed to have received some news and began to practice hard, especially Ino. The level of effort made him, a Jonin, a little ashamed. Sign up for the Chunin exam in a few days, Asuma thought to himself. At this moment, Ino, who was cultivating, suddenly seemed to be in a daze, froze in place, and her delicate body began to tremble uncontrollably. Asuma, who was always concerned about his 3 apprentices, saw Ino's appearance, frowned, and asked, "What's wrong with Ino? If you're tired, take a rest." Whoosh! A rushing thunder sounded in his ears. Asuma felt a flower in front of him, and a figure appeared in front of Ino. He held Ino in both hands, his eyes were full of doting and distress, and he said gently, "Okay, it's okay. Baby Ino, don't cry." Saying that, she took out a tissue and gently said that Ino was the tears in her eyes. Asuma saw the figure in front of him, a glimpse of surprise flashed in his eyes. "I am afraid that only the young man in front of him can make Ino like this." Advertisement Shikamaru and Choji. There was a hint of joy on their faces at first, and then Shikamaru's face became depressed again, and he sprinkled dog food as soon as he came back. he really didn't want to say anything. Yo! Mr. Asuma. Shikamaru. Shoji. Long time no see. Hanxing greeted several people perfunctorily. Ino and I still have some things to do, I'll be leaving today. After speaking, without waiting for the three of them to reply, he picked up Ino and disappeared from the sight of the three of them with a flash. Asuma. Shikamaru. Shoji. Then today's practice will end here. Asuma dipped a cigarette and looked at Hanxing's distant back thoughtfully. You are all ready these days. I will go to Lord 3rd Hokage later to apply for you to take the Chunin exam this year. Tomorrow, remember to inform Ino, come here, I will give you the application form to apply for the Chunin exam. After Asuma finished speaking, he ran towards the Hokage building. At this point, Hanxing is home. Hanxing puts Ino's legs on the ground, intends to release Ino, and then goes to pick up Hinata. But Ino was holding Hanxing tightly with both hands, for fear that he would disappear. Hanxing knew, and Ino probably knew what happened when he left that night. Hanxing was right, Ino had no idea what happened that night. But as the princess of the Yamanaka clan, although her brain is not as smart as Shikamaru, she is still smart, but she is too lazy to think about it. That night, from Hanxing killing 2 ninjas who suddenly appeared, to the countless lightnings that appeared in the sky, and finally the livid color on his father's face when he came back, and finally Hanxing left. It's not hard to guess all these things. On the first day after Hanxing left, Hinata also told her that 2 ninjas came to arrest her, and Hanxing's 2 shadow clones solved it. Advertisement. Ino's mind gets the truth of Hanxing's departure. That is, someone sent ninjas to arrest her and Hinata to threaten Hanxing, but Hanxing noticed in advance and killed them all. Hanxing sent them home safely, but he hit the enemy's nest. As soon as this bold idea came out, she couldn't let it go, and she felt more and more that the idea was correct. As for what my father said, Hanxing went to practice with Master Tsunade. It's okay to lie to children. Katsuyu, who suddenly appeared that night, others don't know, can she still not know, and when they practiced, Hanxing explained interesting things about Tsunade. Tsunade-sama has left Konoha since World War III and hasn't come back for more than 10 years, just come back that night? I'm afraid it's fake to accompany Tsunade to practice, and it's real to expel Konoha. Even if she guesses the truth, she is just a genin, she can't do anything, she can't decide anything, she can only practice hard in the future. Moreover, Ino also knows that Hinata seems to know something, because Hinata's cultivation difficulty is even crazier than her. Today, after sensing Hanxing's chakra, Ino really cried with joy. No one knows how she spent the past 2 months. She misses Hanxing every day, for fear that something will happen to him. Therefore, she can only use this grief and anger as motivation to practice hard. The moment Hanxing appeared, God knows how happy Ino was. She felt that everything in her world had returned to its original color, and she held Hanxing tightly with both hands, for fear of leaving suddenly as if she was in a dream. Holding Hanxing tightly in both hands, feeling the familiar smell and strong heartbeat on him, Ino knew that Hanxing was back, really back. Suddenly, she let go of Hanxing's waist with both hands, and looked at Hanxing's cheeks with both hands. Silver teeth bite, pouting and kissing Hanxing on the mouth. Advertisement. Hanxing's face was taken aback, he didn't expect his Ino to have such courage. Then I was very pleasantly surprised, the cabbage had already been delivered, there is no reason not to eat it. 1 minute, 2 minutes. Half an hour later, Ino let go of his swollen lips, and his flushed face complained with dissatisfaction. You're going to die. Hanxing is smiling proudly. Humph. We've been delayed for half an hour, hurry up and call Hinata. Our family will have a good lunch. Okay. Hanxing gently kissed Ino's forehead. After sensing Hinata's position, the figure flashed and disappeared in place. Watching Hanxing leave, Ino's slightly swollen mouth showed a happy smile. Afterwards, he skillfully picked up the broom next to him and started cleaning. The Hyuga family belongs to the training ground unique to the clan. Hinata is the gentle fist of the hardworking family, and is extremely skilled in every punch and style. Wooden golem pile. Hinata opened his eyes and moved his hands on the wooden golem as fast as bullets. Every time he moved, his fingers could accurately point on the acupoints marked on the wooden golem. Chapter 75 Previous chapter Next chapter advertisement. At the same time, he shouted, 1 palm, 2 palms, 128 palms. At this time, her palms had almost passed the bullet, and only afterimages could be seen. Crack. Boom. With the last palm, the entire wooden golem pile poured with iron juice was directly blown up by Hinata, turned into pieces, and scattered on the ground. She took a breath and began to practice the physique that Hanxing gave her. Hanxing felt a little distressed by the level of hard work, especially, Hanxing could see the weight on Hinata's legs and hands. This weight is very clear to Hanxing, he used to carry it too, 50 jins. The whole set is 300 jins. He stepped out, appeared in front of Hinata, and hugged Hinata in his arms. Hinata, who was cultivating, heard the movement next to him, his body tense, and the chakra in his dantian spread all over his body instantly, spraying out from the acupoints all over his body. This is a sign of the activation of revolving heaven. Don't be nervous, it's me. The gentle voice made Hinata's body tense, and chakra disappeared in an instant. The whole figure seemed to be stunned, letting Hanxing hold her. Feeling the familiar smell of the person in front of her, and the hot blood, Hinata, the pearly tears in her eyes fell unconsciously downward. The voice whimpered, "You're back." Back. Hanxing nodded. Hearing Hanxing's reply, Hinata grabbed Hanxing's arms and her body trembled. Advertisement. What happened that night, she did not guess like Ino, but witnessed everything from a distance through white eyes. After all, she had just been attacked by 2 ninjas, and then there was such a wide range of lightning ninjutsu in the sky in the distance, so she couldn't help thinking too much. She knew that what Hanxing was best at was lightning-style ninjutsu, so when she saw the distant sky thunder landing, her heart didn't feel nervous for a while, and she ran towards the spot without hesitation. At the same time, I also saw the confrontation between Hanxing and Yuan Fei Hiruzen. By the time she was about to arrive, Hanxing had already left. She didn't know why Hanxing did this, but she definitely knew it had something to do with the 2 ninjas who attacked him that night. So, after that night, Hinata left the Yuhi Red team, went home alone, and practiced desperately. She knew that her current strength was not strong enough to help Hanxing, so she could only practice hard. After training to be strong enough, go out of the village to look for Hanxing. But she didn't expect that Hanxing would appear in front of her in just over a month, which really shocked her and she was overjoyed. "When did you come back?" In his arms, Hinata stopped crying and whispered. "Just got back. Let's go home. Ino is already waiting there." Hanxing kissed Hinata's forehead and said dotingly. Hinata nodded shyly. "However, before that, take the weight off your body now. With me here, you don't have to practice so hard in the future." Hanxing frowned. "No, I'm used to it." Hinata, who had always been obedient to Hanxing, refused this time. Hanxing looked at Hinata's little face full of seriousness and stubbornness in his eyes. He knew that this departure had brought great harm to the 2 girls, Hinata and Ino. "Okay. Then take it." Hanxing rubbed Hinata's long lilac hair and smiled. Advertisement holding Hinata's little hand, he smiled softly, "Let's go." This time, he did not leave Hinata quietly, but left with a big swagger. The Hyuga clan is a clan that focuses on reconnaissance. Hanxing believes that the moment he came to the Hyuga clan had already discovered it and reported it to Hyuga Hiashi. Now that Hyuga Hiashi does not appear, that is the default relationship between Hanxing and Hinata. In fact, just as Hanxing thought, he held Hinata's small hand along the way, and swaggered out of the Hyuga clan. All the Hyuga clan, either pointing or pretending to be invisible, watched Hanxing take Hinata away. Hinata directly became Hanxing's little daughter-in-law, holding Hanxing's shoulders, her head couldn't be lower, like a small quail. By the time Hanxing and Hinata got home, it was almost 10 o'clock. Afterwards, Hanxing took Hinata and the 2 girls to the vegetable market to buy a lot of vegetables, and after eating the meat, they returned home to prepare lunch at noon today. Lunch is very rich. Hanxing made Ino's favorite braised lion's head, fried noodles. Hinata's favorite sweet and sour pork ribs. With the dishes made by Hinata. The table is full. After dinner and everything was cleaned up, Hanxing lay on the tatami with one arm in his arms, enjoying the rare peace. It didn't take long for the snoring of the two women to be sounded in my ears. Hanxing's face flashed a hint of guilt. He knew that the two girls had not had a good rest in the past 2 months because he must have not had a good rest. At the same time, he also secretly made up his mind that he would never fail the two girls. Unconsciously, Hanxing's eyes slowly closed, and just like that, there was nothing but snoring and mosquitoes in the wide hall. Hokage Office. Advertisement. 3rd Hokage Yuan Fei Hiruzen looked at Asuma, Hong Yuhi, and Kakashi, who submitted their applications for the Chunin exam in front of them. Are you sure? You must know that this Chunin exam will not be bigger than usual. It is stricter and more dangerous than before. I think the strength of the 8th class members is completely up to standard, Yuhi Hong said solemnly. Next, Asuma and Kakashi spoke the same way. This is the application form for the Chunin exam. You can take it. Yuan Fei Hiruzen took out 9 forms from the drawer and handed them to the 3 of Kakashi. Then, he took out another form from the drawer and handed it to Kakashi. This is from Hanxing. Go and give it to him. Hanxing? Kakashi frowned, with a hint of doubt in his eyes. Seeing the doubt in Kakashi's eyes, Yuan Fei Hiruzen said, I told Tsunade to let Hanxing come back a few days ago, and he has arrived in Konoha today. It should be at home now. You can send it to him later, Yuan Fei Hiruzen said, unable to see the joy and anger. Okay. Kakashi nodded. The setting sun was setting in the west, and the setting sun was like blood, dyeing the sky red. Hanxing woke up from his deep sleep, raised his head slightly, and found that Ino and Hinata had woken up, but a pair of eyes were staring at him. Seeing this, Han Shin's heart seemed to be filled with something, and while the two girls were not paying attention, he quickly tapped his lips on the two girls' mouths. The two shy women hurriedly patted his chest with their white and tender hands to express their dissatisfaction.